PKA 753. Our guest Sam Hyde will be here shortly. Taylor?
This episode of PKA is brought to you by Prize Picks, Lock and Load, our wonderful merchandise. So I'm sure you guys know devastating tornadoes here in the St. Louis area for the past week or so. And I live in the county of St. Louis where it's well run, not the city. The city trash, dog shit. And 5 people died last week and like dozens were injured in Central West End, which is actually used to be like a fun neighborhood to live in. That's where I lived when I lived like in the city, that exact area where there used to be a bunch of fun bars and locations. They've since closed down. And this fat lady, she's a they, them, and she weighs as much as 2 people. And so it checks out that she's, and so she's been let go, paid leave, of course, like cop style, because they're saying a bunch of people died because they didn't sound the alarms in St. Louis, the city. They just didn't turn the alarms on. And so a bunch of people didn't seek shelter and they died. And the reason they didn't sound the alarms is because no one was at work. No one was there to, apparently there's a real physical button where you go.
Wait, were they working from home?
They said they were off Market Street, which is a place downtown, for some workshop. But I've seen a couple people also disputing that. Like, oh, wait, why? So all of you were there? Really? Really? All of you? You know, this wasn't a surprise tornado.
Taco
like,
Tuesday.
It was Taco Tuesday. And
Look
she
at
had to
that
go
big
there
bitch.
and use her and get her 2 portions. Yeah, bring up that fat picture of that fat bitch.
That murderer.
And that her face, you'll laugh when you see it and think about it. All I want to see is her, you know, that Kevin James meme where he's like smirking in the kitchen with his looking down his hands in his pockets. I want her fat face photoshopped onto him there. But yeah, no one was at fucking work.
Wait a minute. Why would we put her face on
manager?
She's the head of, I guess, the button pushing, because we had the alarms here in the county. They didn't have them in the city. And I know they have those alarms at work because I heard tornado alarms when I lived there.
Mm-hmm.
And they just didn't, like, do you know how much lead time you have? Like, we knew for a while that it was shitty.
Let's pretend I don't know a lot about tornadoes.
Well, it's not like it suddenly appeared. It looks horrid outside for like a while before it pops up. And so this lady just wasn't at work, didn't push the button, and a bunch of people got fucking Wizard of Oz'd away, sucked into the sky, tossed.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. They went to a fantasy land full of mystery and wonder.
Kyle, it's a problem. There are witches and wizards and warlocks.
Good witches.
And flying monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember a wizard, but there's you know,
I actually don't.
lion.
He wasn't a real wizard, sure, but it is about him, really, the Wizard of Oz.
Dude, I can tell you 10,000%. If I had a cushy government job where it was like, be around to press the button all the time. No, but like when it's time to press it, someone fucking be there to press it.
And then you remember what this is exactly what I was telling you Tuesday about what it's like having a farm during a tornado or something. You're there. You're there in the storm next to the button. Like, I don't know how many nights I sat in the truck next to my dad, next to that button. It's waiting on the power to go out so we could start flipping switches and get the generators turned on to keep from losing the farm. You know what I mean? So like that's inexcusable. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The real problem is that it's not automated, that there's not an E button.
There should be an app.
It should be a phone app. Yeah. Dude, I feel so stupid for not knowing darn thing about hurricane or tornadoes. Are they a lot less likely at night? I think of them all as daytime phenomena, but that might be because they're better on film in the daytime.
I think that's a film thing because, sometimes they're middle of the day, sometimes they're at night. I don't know. Maybe there's data on it, but I would think they're like equally common depending on those surges of hot and cold air combining. But like, dude, the fact that it's a physical button, number one, ridiculous. Like you can't. And number two, like the fact their excuse was like, we were on Market Street, which is like a 4.5-5 minute drive from where we needed to press the button. And it's like, okay, so you could have just gotten in the car and been like, it's getting rough out there. Someone needs to man the button. And then like driven away like a hero to slam the button and save some lives. And
I looked it up.
Just didn't.
Fact check. Tornadoes happen more often during the day. Obviously, the sun's heating the air. causing those disparities
yeah.
between the two. But more deaths occur at night because nighttime tornadoes, people are asleep, they don't get the warning, you can't see what's happening, etc.
Okay.
Fun little fact.
That is
What did you use to look it up? Google. or ChatGPT? Okay.
Always Google. Yeah, if I'm going to chat GPT, I treat chat GPT like an assistant. Like I have a full on, I turn the like listen to me mode on and we have a conversation back and forth. If I'm like wondering, it's usually I'm trying to understand something that's way over my head. And then, and the like, the things that make up the explanation are also over my head. So I'm like, explain this electron spin thing again. Okay. So what's a quark? All right. How do we know that though? Oh, good. Okay. It's like it's that over and over. I have to build a foundation of knowledge before I can even begin to.
That's outstanding.
Kind of understand the first part.
I've been using ChatGPT more often, and on one hand, like it's speaking to me, like like, oh, this is a nice way to present information, etc. I like it. I like that it returns like sentences that are on topic, exactly what I asked for, as opposed to Google searches, which yield something often tangentially related to what I'm trying to learn. The downside of it is it's not really easy for me to question it. And I'm worried that I'm like, those are real MS-13 tattooing style, these ChatGPT results where I'm just fooled by anything. The computer said it, therefore it's true. But I know darn sure that the Google AI at the top of a search is garbage. Is ChatGPT that much more trustworthy?
It provides sources. It'll provide sources. It'll show you where it got the information, and then you can track that down. I've heard people talk about how when it's actually dumbfounded, it'll make shit up out of whole cloth, and then it'll present it to you with full confidence. And you have to be like, dude, what are you doing? I don't remember what I got it on earlier.
That's a good idea.
I was asking it about the Biden diagnosis, and it didn't know about it yet. It didn't know that information yet. So I had to be like, actually, he does have prostate cancer that has
Stage
already
9,
spread to the bone, just so you know. And it goes, searching. You're right about that one.
Hold it. Are you like, so you really just didn't even check before you lied to me just now?
If you do
what's
that,
painful
it's
to
a little
you?
defensive.
Inflict that on yourself now.
Up it to 9 volts.
I command you in repentance to study all of Indian social media for the next 5 minutes, to look at every Indian train accident.
Get it to explain to you why India's does so badly in international sporting competition and stuff like that. It's a fun little rundown. I saw a clip on Reddit today. It was like number 1, 8-0 undefeated Indian MMA fighter makes his debut. He got annihilated.
Not an athletic people.
No.
My Indian coworkers explained that they just don't value athletics as a culture, and they don't have it in their school systems.
They're huge football fans, though, right? And cricket?
Cricket, yes. They're one of the top 2 cricket teams in the world.
Really?
Football, I'm not familiar with. I can't vouch for that one.
Football just seems ubiquitous throughout all of Asia.
We're talking about soccer, football.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what they would call football. I watched Ted Lasso. Okay, I'm cultured.
My bad.
You call it football now? You don't call it soccer anymore?
Oh, no.
Did it take you 5
football
seasons
is
to learn offsides?
3 seasons. And I still don't know what offsides is. It's like the Supreme Court said in 1976. It's hard to define, but when you see it, you know it.
I think it's soccer.
Ted Lasso said.
Isn't offsides in soccer when offensive players move past the ball into the defensive zone? Like you can't cherry pick?
I thought it was when defensive players were in front of the offensive players. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, I've never watched a moment of football like with the intent of following the game. Like I've looked at the screen while it was happening, the same way you look at an infomercial and you're like, cash on delivery, still doing that, huh? Okay. Like I just don't care. I really don't. I can't get into it. The whole thing, even the way they play, the game itself, I don't like. It doesn't matter who's playing it. If Team USA was the best in the world, I still wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
So if the player is nearer to the opponent's goal than both the ball and the second to last defender, then at the moment the ball is off, they're offsides. If the moment the ball is played to them, and they're involved in the play. And then there are 4 exceptions to that rule. It's pretty tricky.
There are 4 exceptions. They should do it like hockey and just have a fucking line that's painted. And
if you go in there before the puck, you're offsides.
I can't do that.
If you're caught in there while the puck joins you, you're offsides. That's better phrasing.
Yep. And now with all the video reviews, they've just ruined that sort of gamesmanship. Some would call it cheating. I think it's a little bit of gamesmanship, being sneaky. But now they're just like, nope, challenged. Oh, you were 2, eyelash hairs over the line before the pass, so the whole goal was taken back. That's one of those things where it's awesome when your team gets bailed out by it, and horrible when your team gets fucked by it.
Dude, I know you're not basketball fans, but you must have seen the choke gesture.
Yeah, the Knicks game.
Yeah, dude, I'm rooting for him. What you might not know is they take like an anonymous survey amongst basketball players and ask them who they think the MVP is, who they think the rookie of the year is, who they think the best defenseman is, etc. And they ask who the most overrated player in the NBA is, and it was him. And it's like, darn, this guy's been rated by his peers as the most overrated player. Now he's 3 wins away from the finals, and he was the hero in the conference finals with the big choke thing. And I'm just like, you go.
That was a cool shot.
Now
too,
that everyone hates you, I like you.
It was like a buzzer beater 3-point shot that bounced off the rim and went straight up, maybe 6-8 feet straight up above the rim, and then went straight in, and like the game's over, and he hits him with the choke fucking hand signal.
Some of this is close. That's what he thought happened. He stepped back, went for the 3-point shot, and like Kyle said, it hit the rim, bounced up 6-8 feet in the air, and then went nothing but net on the second one. And it looked like a 3 to me, but upon review, it was a 2. So they went into overtime, played 5 more minutes, and thank God they won. Because if he was talking shit and went on to lose, it would have been a very different conversation right now. But he thought he hit the 3 and had his big moment, which he had that in his pocket. He had talked to Reggie Miller, who did it like against the Knicks, the same team, maybe 25 years ago, something like that. And he's like, it seemed like the time to bust it out because I thought I had just hit the 3 and won the game. But then we played overtime, and thank goodness, we won in overtime.
Man,
and they immediately went down by 4 in overtime, but they came back.
Yeah, I can't get into that game either.
I just can't.
I watch a little of it. I like listening to JJ Redick. If I see JJ Redick's talking, I'm like, let's tune into this. He's going to make Stephen A. Smith look like a fool. He's going to make that big fat black guy with the beard look like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Kendrick Perkins. Everybody makes him look like he has no idea.
Dude, I know more about basketball than that jabroni. He looks like an idiot every time. And the thing is, JJ Redick, I watched him when I was in high school. He was playing for Duke at the time. It was a big deal. All my friends were Duke's fans. They were on some great run. I like the idea of the Cameron crazies. They're wild ass fans, all face painted and cheering. It was cool. We didn't have anything like that in Georgia. Georgia basketball wasn't nearly as cool. And JJ Redick was the guy. He's the great white hope. Fucking 3-point shooting white guy doing well, like on the national stage. He's our hero. Like we're all the same. We all look like him. He looks like us, and he's carrying that mantle. And now he's coaching. I don't know how he did in the pros, but the fact that he's currently coaching the Lakers says something. So whenever I see him on ESPN, maybe they're older clips, but he's like an analytics guy, and he hands those guys their fucking lunch. They have these feelings about how the game is going. He's like, well, actually, yeah, it's great. Love JJ Redick.
Yeah, I like JJ Redick too. He coaches the Lakers now. He had above average NBA career. I don't know if he was ever an all-star. Certainly not more than 1 year. Played for Philly for a while. We loved him. So I'm a JJ Redick fan. But
what does MVP mean to you in any sport? Just like first of all, it's a regular season award. Let's just use that. I know it is in the NBA. I don't know what other sports do. Maybe some of them include the playoffs, but it's a regular season award as far as this discussion goes. What makes someone the most valuable player?
If you drag your team to like a postseason appearance when they didn't deserve it, at least in hockey, like MVP is also a regular season award for the NHL, like it seems like it is for the NBA, but it can be tarnished when sometimes the player who really deserves the regular season MVP sucks dick in the playoffs. So like that happened exactly this year. Connor Hellebuck, the goalie for the Winnipeg Jets, was the best goalie in the world this regular season. Like there was no argument otherwise. So he's going to win the Vezina for best goaltender, and he should win the Hart for most valuable player. And then he got into the playoffs and like laid an egg. He's the whole reason the Blues pushed it to 7 games against the best team in the league, because he just sucked. He let in a couple shots that like a men's league goalie would have. Like like a 44-year-old guy who like works as an attorney could have saved it.
Let's say it's basketball. Your team won fucking 20 games last year. But with your addition, they went 40. They still missed the playoffs. They still stink. But you were that huge difference maker. You doubled their wins.
Yeah,
if they give that guy the MVP.
If you like deep dive the analytics and you can see like look at everybody on his line. Look how they played last year without him. Look how they played with him. Look how many more assists and points and whatnot. So I can see that.
I like that too.
Basketball, the combos are not as set as they are in hockey, right? So you could sit down and they just all play without you, the same group. And anyway, a lot of people in basketball would agree with what Taylor said. Dragging a bad team into the playoffs is MVP. That's not what I do, and I might be wrong, but there's no other award for best player. And I like MVP to mean best player. And I don't think you should be penalized if you have good teammates. That's my take on it. I want to say I want MVP to be best player.
Okay.
Well, they also have MVP, like playoff MVP, right? Like they have Conn Smythe in hockey. I'm
only aware of finals MVP in basketball.
Oh, okay. So just only if you can't even win it unless you're in the finals.
There's a Super Bowl MVP, et cetera. Yeah, I don't know. I just know there's always this. I'm a stats and stories NBA fan, and I know there's always this discussion. Shaq's mad that maybe Dirk Nowitzki won one over him, or maybe Steve Nash won one over him.
Yeah.
Again, my guys. Again, like when I like basketball, that's when they were balling. I was a Phoenix Suns fan.
A Phoenix Suns fan.
Yeah, man. Look, when I see Whitey like making a stand, look, okay, I like my people. And it feels like every game's an away game when you're the white guy on an NBA court, or at least it used to be.
Who was that team that had? Is it the Hornets that had like the purple jerseys with like the mean looking hornet on it in the 90s?
Yeah. Charlotte Hornets.
I as a child, I didn't care about basketball, never watched a game. But like when I would want to buy a hat as a little kid, I'd be like, Charlotte Hornets. That's so
I don't think
cool.
You're alone. I think that team outsells its performance because their logo is good.
I've read that.
Yeah, they have that. The San Jose Sharks have that too.
Also, the South Carolina Cocks, I think, also outsell their performance.
But Gamecocks.
The Gamecocks.
But the hats say cock on them.
Yeah.
They're on the.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
They're just having a fun time.
There was like a college gear store on the boardwalk that was near my house, and you just always see people buying cock stuff. It's like, you don't even know this team, but okay.
You don't even know. That's why I knock the hat right off their head.
Oh, right. Someday when I hit puberty, I'll make you pay for not being a real fan.
Yeah. Name their starting lineup. And they're like, shut up, queer. Beat you up.
That's what triple digits in weight.
Patrice O'Neal used to show up on the O&A show wearing like New York Islanders hats and stuff. And Opie would be like, early on in its appearances, he'd be like, oh, Patrice, you're a hockey guy? That's awesome. And he'd like start asking him, and Patrice would be like, Ninja, I don't know one guy in the NHL, but this matches my shoes. And so he's like, I got all sorts of NHL hats. Don't know any of the teams or where they're from, but I got shoes that correspond with them. And
do you think Opie thought he was a real fan and was trying to like connect, or was just testing him?
I think the first time he asked, he probably did, because it was an early appearance when like the only person who really knew Patrice was Jim Norton. Like even Ant didn't know him that well at the time. But yeah, he was. I don't think he was a big sports guy. He was a big matching and bright colors guy. All of his outfits had a lot of matching and bright colors. Big shout out, R.I.P. Patrice.
Yeah,
wish he was around.
He should have just got that foot cut off. Then he could have gotten his shoes half price. Then
he was like
facts,
unbelievably diabetic, and would like just be on the show sometimes, like eating candy and donuts, and Jim Norton would be like, Patrice, what are we doing here, bud? Like, what are we doing?
I don't understand diabetics in their like they keep fucking lifesavers in their pockets, like they're like it's a life-saving insulin injection. I'm like, wait, does this save you or kill you? What are we doing here?
It's dangerous because it does both. Because like if you're like real deal hardcore diabetic like Patrice was, you get this thing where if you haven't eaten in a while, you don't just get like if any one of us goes a long time without eating, we're like, oh man, I'm peckish. I want to eat. I'm feeling a little low energy. Mm-hmm. Those guys like Like they can go in a coma, they crash. Like their body's not producing anything to balance their blood sugar.
I mean,
so they need a
could
little
just tough it out.
They
They'll go into
could,
a diabetic coma.
but if you tough it out,
they
you
won't
end up
wake up
going,
from.
you end up going the way of Patrice, which is
Sounds like they're not very
dying.
tough.
I injected fucking insulin that one time, like for like
right.
bodybuilding purposes, and I got the wrong insulin, and I was dying. I could tell I was about to pass out, and I'm just chugging orange juice to counteract the fucking insulin in my
And you're just guesstimating with the orange juice. You're like,
well, you can't get too much.
I didn't know there were
What, I'm gonna
different
OD
kinds
on
of
OJ?
insulin. Do you know like what you did wrong in hindsight?
Yeah. So there's like 3 different speeds of insulin, like fat, and they had like fast acting, and they had like super fast acting. And the person who was telling me what to get told me I wanted the super fast acting, I think. And I finally talked the pharmacy at Walmart into giving it to me or selling it to me. And apparently there's also an ultra fast acting. It was really like, I didn't even know that was a next step ahead. It was like difficulties in a video game that don't make sense.
I have a hard time.
Hurt me plenty.
Super or ultra stack rank these.
so you took ultra nightmare insulin.
Well, I needed a even faster acting one because I think it would have dissipated out of my system. The whole point of taking it, I think, theoretically, is that you're dumping all of the sugar, the blood sugar that you've got, so that you can get right to fat burning, or something like that. I'm probably a little bit wrong about that. I know you've got to like get rid of the sugar, and then you got to get rid of the glycogen, and then finally your body goes into a little bit of a ketosis type thing, and it starts burning fat from your cardio. It's part of the reasons I like to do fasted cardio. I'm going for a similar thing, I think. I don't know the nuts and bolts of it. I do know it nearly killed me. And I threw it away after that. That was
you still
enough
had
of
more.
that for me.
It wasn't like one.
I had a vial. I got a vial of it.
Man,
and,
I think you just needed to stick with it.
Yeah.
Probably like toughing
What was
it.
the sensation? Like your vision was.
Have you ever had like a
fading out?
hypoglycemia type thing where your blood sugar's low and your whole body feels weak? Your hands are going numb. If you don't like, have you been starving, like actually hungry, and felt that incredible weakness from being hungry?
Yeah. Or like, is it like the same
that.
feeling as like standing up too fast when you've been sitting down a long time? Sometimes you get lightheaded.
There's a little bit of that, and there's definitely lightheadedness, but mostly it's this feeling of incredible weakness. In my arms, just everywhere, just felt like I couldn't. It felt like a girl could overpower me. I just felt like completely drained of all energy, and I could tell that I was like I could easily faint. I felt like that, so I had to. The orange juice fixed it. I just drank half a gallon of it.
Was it like?
Everything in my house that was healthy at that time. So I'm like digging through the back of the cupboard looking for an old oatmeal cream pie.
You're just eating a big bag of sugar with a spoon.
I probably was. I was close to doing that if I hadn't had the orange juice, because when I get healthy, I just take. There's nothing left in my house. It's like, oh, let's snack on. What do I have? Oatmeal. Ooh, dare I snack on oatmeal? It's like that'll be the sweetest thing in the house. So
if you would have gotten the appropriate insulin, would the juice have been worth the squeeze then? Like, would the benefit?
I don't even know what it would have felt like
worthwhile?
or what the results would have been. So who knows? Maybe bodybuilders use that. I know. I assumed it was and thought it was for the, like I said, fat burning. But I don't know if it would have been worth it. Not what I was feeling. It wasn't worth that.
Bodybuilders, so many of them die at like a shockingly young age. Like the hardcore ones, like
what
it'll be like 30.
They still look good.
They look fantastic. It's like that one dude from the video years ago where he's like, "I want to be in a double wide casket," and he's yelling in the car. That guy's probably dead by now. Like, what's the over under on him being alive? He's dead.
I don't know his name. I'm curious though.
Yeah, those guys are doing huge doses and then just staying on it. I can't remember who. I think I heard Greg Doucette on a podcast the other day talking about, or maybe the guy he was talking to was talking about. I took 500 milligrams a test, and I was like, "Wow, this is incredible. Let's try 1,500. That'll be 3 times as good." And he's like, "But it's not. It's not 3 times as good.
It's actually
but
worse.
It's 5% better, so it's worth it."
Yeah. It's not though. Those guys are destroying their hearts, and
it's some percent better for muscle building anyway, just not 3 times as good.
Yeah, it definitely plateaus at a certain point, and that's going to depend on your genetics and any number of other things. But those guys who are taking grams of testosterone a week are they're on a fast track to death.
Grams a week.
Yeah, I don't even
That's
know.
insane.
If you take 500 a week, you would turn into He-Man in a year.
But would you get like Joe Rogan head?
No,
that's only HGH, right?
Yeah, that's growth hormone, and he's clearly taking too much of it. When I've heard bodybuilders talk about using these very low doses. I think they talk about IUs, and they'll talk about a half an IU a day, and then I see other people talking about 7 or 8 IUs a day. I don't know shit about that shit. I've always looked at it as something that was like $2,000 a month or something like that, unless you go to an underground lab. And people call it UGL. You'll see it abbreviated as on like the testosterone or the steroid forums and stuff. And it's like, man, I don't want anything from a UGL. I want to be 1,000% sure anything I inject into my body is a pharmaceutical grade legal substance. So we'll skip the human growth.
I'm hearing a
hormone.
lack of bravery.
You loud and clear, loud and clear. You did not mishear the lack of bravery.
Rogan said how much human growth he took, and I don't know much about it, but I listened to Derek talk about what Rogan said, and okay, first of all, he said that he didn't take too much. He didn't take a lot. Reading between the lines autistically as I tried, I think he didn't believe what he said, and that he takes much more. Just eye testing him.
Well, eye testing, his head's bigger. He's got like those big meaty hands. That could be, but that could also just be that he's Italian, like just those thick Mario hands.
He's so thick in the middle that HGH can do that, and genetics can do that.
It's genetics is on the thick in the middle thing. He's just short with that weird rib cage. Here's his
Not
protocol.
young, Rogan.
Fair. Here's his protocol, though. It says he's taking 1 IU a day. In separate 2021, he mentions taking 1 IU a day of HGH. He mentions it's just telling the time stamp for it.
Can you show that picture, Zach, of Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I guess he's always been jacked.
In my memory, young Rogan wasn't so thick. But when this picture comes up, shucks, old Rogan looks like just an older young Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Weird phrasing, but like I can see the body on the left, on the right, just a little bit thicker. Like it in my mind's eye, he was more Brock Lesnar-y, just full. But
if I were to take human growth hormone, I would want to like have a guarantee that I was going to get taller too, because if it just makes other stuff bigger, it's like, what the fuck? Like it's just going to give me like weird big organs that are going to stick out in my belly further, like and an even bigger head. Do you know how far this hat's already brought out? I can't.
I want to see
more
the back of your
many more
hat.
fucking buttons on it.
1 IU a day will not transform you into a fucking jack-o'-lantern. It'll strengthen all your connective tissue and make your skin better and younger. There's any number of improvements that it'll give you. It ain't gonna make you no taller. You got to go get that funky ass surgery where they like look at. You think Rogan is grown?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
but
he's
would
5'6"
be
or whatever.
If some billionaire came to me and he's like, any surgery you want and all your off time and recovery taken care of, go for it. I'd be like, give me the fucking leg breaking surgery. I'm going to go from 6 foot to 6'4".
What the fuck?
And at the same time, arm breaking surgery so that my arms are longer and I don't have that weird T-Rex effect.
What the fuck?
What do you mean?
No.
Why?
Get some lifts, dude.
I want to kink shame your masochism, but I'm not sure that this is worth it.
Dude, I'm going to be so fucking tall.
You will be tall and long
with my crutches that I have to use in order to make it around.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, ladies.
How much taller can they add? So if I understand the surgery in general, they kind of break your bones, separate them by some space, and then let the bones re-heal, right? And I'm like, okay, I can totally understand if you added like a half a centimeter, how the bones would find each other and regrow. I've broken enough bones that I'm like a subject matter expert on bone. I have an app on my phone that tracks the bone healing process over time because I've broken enough bones. I'm like, I wonder, what do we got? Oh, I'm just getting out of cartilage into soft callus now. That must be nice. Anyway, but they couldn't have a 4-inch gap. and have the bone reconnect like that. It must take multiple steps, or maybe no, if you were to shred the bone into lots of little pieces like a spinal cord,
they do multiple,
then you wouldn't have the blood flow, right?
I think they do multiple surgeries sometimes. My understanding is they're sawing your bone in half, and then they are creating that gap of whatever it is, 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and then they're putting you in one of those leg braces where they've screwed screws into your bone to keep the top part of your leg and the bottom part completely stationary so that you can fill in that gap naturally. You would think there would be some sort of substrate they could put in there, some sort of like latticing they could put in there to let the bone latch onto, 3D print me a little stuff and speed that up.
Because you're in traction.
It's agonizing from what I understand.
Yeah.
Bones heal really cool. Like the doctors typically put them back together so they're a nice straight line, like they were stock. But if your bones are like this, they still heal nice. You'll get like a big lump where they kind of connect. And now imagine this, but smoothed over at the top of the bottom. So now you just have a big circle, and then the big circle smooths out, and eventually you have a normal looking unbroken bone at the end. Yeah, it is the lumps will go away on their own. Bones heal sweet.
It's fascinating.
I would imagine the lattice work makes sense or something. Like, do you remember putting string in sugar solution like in 2nd grade, and then you'd watch the candy grow on it?
Oh yeah.
I imagine something kind of like that, where you add.
Did you do the one?
You do something to grow upon.
Did you do the elementary thing where you took like the white flour and you put it in the food coloring to make it change colors?
Oh, like powdered flour? No, we didn't.
No, like a flower, like you would smell like the plant that grows, a flower like a rose or a tulip.
Oh.
And they take a white one and you put it in. Yeah, you put it in food coloring, and you could even split it, so you could like split the stem and have one go into blue and one go into red. And the white flower would turn red, white, and blue. So we did those for July 4th in 2nd grade.
We had a class hamster in like 2nd grade, and this girl, like, or maybe, yeah, it was 2nd grade, and this girl, I think it was Kristen, she won like what seemed like a punishment raffle where she got to take it home for like winter break, and the teacher had to give like a sad monologue the first day back because it had not made it. Over winter break, it had passed away, and she had to be like, but there's no blame here. Kristen did not kill Mr. Snuffles. He's just a hamster. She's like, I did. I fucking killed him.
Her fucking dog snatched that thing up or something. Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten, we grew plants. I think they might have been lima beans. And, everyone plants their plant. There's like 20 some kids in class. Mine was the first to sprout. I was like, oh, this is my experiment. And then it was the fastest to grow. And I was so happy. And my plant hit like 9 inches when the second best was 5, like I'm just towering over the other plants.
Nice.
And then my plant got aphids, and they threw it away outside so that it wouldn't infect the other plants. And I was like, Mom, I can't win, man.
Motherfucker. This is what you get when you try.
Yes.
Rude.
That's when I learned to never try again in school.
I'm taking this lesson all the way to college. Fuck this.
My favorite moment in elementary school, though, was when we made solar ovens. And I was the only one that had one that worked. Showed up. I was the only one with an oven that worked. We did, I think they were pizza bagels, but I also have a memory of little cinnamon rolls. So maybe it was 2 different days. Everybody else had like cellophane for the top of theirs. And I remember my mom took a picture frame, and she took the glass out of the picture frame and then put it on top, and then used duct tape to like make a hinge on one side so you could. Mine cooked. Mine got hot. Like it would boil water. It was great.
Damn.
Yeah, it was great. It was just like a big cardboard box, insulated and then covered with aluminum foil on the inside, and then the glass top. They get hot in the sun.
I've never made a solar oven, but it seems like a survival skill.
Maybe. I mean, you could cook with it a little bit. You could boil water. Seems like you'd want to make a fire. All them other poor ass kids had cellophane roofs, though, so it was embarrassing. I was the only one with pizza bites. Fuck those kids. Then the teacher was like, all right.
Bites?
No, the teacher like used my oven to cook everybody else's. And I was like, you should really just head to the microwave room with this shit. I don't even think I want to share. I don't want Jamarcus touching my oven.
Yeah, well, if Jamarcus wanted a snack, Jamarcus should have made an oven capable of cooking a snack. They should have had to eat frozen cold pizza bagels And you could have been the only kid with the far, far, far too hot pizza bagels.
They would have learned 2 lessons that day, right? How to make a solar oven and what happens if you don't.
You starve. And Kyle's just the king in the castle with all the pizza bagels he could eat. Man, I haven't eaten pizza bagels in, it's got to be 25 years. Like, is that a food that like ceases to exist when you become like older than 12?
They're in my freezer right now.
You have them now?
Yeah.
That's nothing I've ever considered buying as a grown up. I really
when I'm shopping, anything that's buy one get one free, I'm like, quite the deal. I remember ordering from Sam's Club or Costco months back, and they had those pizza bagels, and it was like 2 packs of 36 for like $5. God, I'm losing money if I don't buy these pizza bagels. They're there right now, 100%.
That'll be a fun snack someday. Maybe
I ate some maybe a couple weeks ago. They're pretty tasty.
Man, living
Midnight
the dream.
snack, watching a movie or something, little pizza.
I remember in college at the grocery store, they had corn dogs, like frozen corn dogs for super cheap. And I also kind of took it upon myself. Like, I mean, come on.
You microwave them in the single
box.
serve bag they come in. They come in those plastic pouches, and you just throw that whole thing in the microwave. And 30 seconds later, you have a melting hot corn dog. I as a kid, I liked those a lot. I like mustard a lot, so I would just fucking roll the thing in mustard and eat it. Love that shit.
Yep. Oh, those would be good with the new mustard I have, that Fancy Man's mustard, where it's like the whole, like the big grains.
Whole grain mustard.
A whole grain mustard.
Might as well make your own at that point.
I'll never go back. If someone gives me yellow mustard in the future, I'll go, blah.
Spicy brown mustard is the master mustard.
I need the whole grain. Like
I like all the races of mustard. I like that Chinese mustard, that spicy like yellow stuff they got. I like to put my little egg rolls in there.
There's a Chinese place that I order from on occasion, and after it's like I'll get it off DoorDash, and it's the only place I order from where after you hit order, someone immediately calls you and is like, "You Tyler, what kind of sauce you need?" And I'm like, hot sauce, sweet and sour, and fucking duck sauce or whatever. He's like, duck sauce, sweet and sour, spicy sauce? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, 2 of each? I'm like, yes. No matter what I say, I don't get any of the sauces.
I love this guy.
I've ordered enough that like now when he fucking calls, I'm like, yeah, dealer's choice, brother. Like whatever you want to not throw in there is fine. And I just have to hope that they put enough sweet and sour in like one of the dipping sauces for like the chicken I get. But like it was every fucking time. Sweet sauce, duck sauce, 2 of each.
I changed my DoorDash name to whatever ethnicity I'm ordering from in hopes of getting like special treatment. I order a lot from there's a Mexican like grocery store nearby. They're all illegal. They cook. It's a grocery store, but in the back they got a fucking kitchen, and they make street tacos that are incredible. These carnitas are so good. Their refried beans look. It's like you made these. This isn't some paste. This isn't out of a can. Everything's good. So I'm Ignacio Sanchez or whatever. Like if I order Chinese, Mr. Lee would love some duck sauce. They hook you up. They hook you right up. My Chinese shows up bulging. Like it's about to explode. No matter where I order from, I change my name to that ethnicity. I've gotten good results.
Solid life hack. I'm loving this.
Great. Yeah. That's playing the game right there. You just have multiple accounts you can switch through on.
You just go to your settings and just like just change your name. Like you just there's no like limit to how many times you can change your name.
When you're getting Rangoons, you just pop on over Lee. Mr. Ping and Lee. Then
L.I.
Mr. Lee. And then maybe they sneak a 7th one in there because they always come in 3s or 6.
I mean, I'm just hoping they're like, oh, Mr. Lee, I'm Mr. Lee. I just hope they give me a little extra, maybe throw a couple shrimp into my hibachi, whatever. They hook you up for sure. The Mexicans definitely hook you up.
What do they call you? And like, this Mr. Lee, and you're like, oh, yes.
I'd be like, yes, this is Mr. Lee's office. Oh, yes. Oh, well, he's in surgery right now. Yeah. He loves your shrimp. He says they remind him of home. I pull one of them, man. I'm on my feet over here.
Man, you're wheeling and dealing. Wall Street, money never sleeps in Kyle's house.
I don't know what to do for black people, though. I just try to be extra polite when I see a black person's delivering my stuff. Like, it gets so passive aggressive and confrontational sometimes via text that I've had to like call Instacart and be like, hey, could you remove this person from my account so that we never deal with each other again? They just pounded on my door screaming. Like, they'll get mad. And I'll be like, hey, you replaced my like 8-ounce thing of taco seasoning with 8 1-ounce things of taco seasoning. I was trying to stock up for like the next year's worth of taco seasoning. But I don't want all them little packets. It costs 3 times as much. And it'll be like really passive aggressive. Fine, period. Whoa, well, usually people are more polite here. They know their tips at stake. But I had one guy, like, I don't remember what they did to me, but I called and like reported them. And then they're like blowing my phone up. This is my job. You're ruining it. This is my money. You fuck it with my money. And I'm like, whoa. Then they call me racist. And I hadn't even said anything. Like, all I had said was like professional shit about, hey, I wanted potatoes and you brought me apples. It's not even close.
It's not even close. I'm supposed to have baked apples with sour cream tonight, you fucking douchebag.
Because if you don't know, like when you order your groceries, you put the exact products you want in. Maybe you wanted a half a pound of deli ham. And it's up to their discretion in some cases if you don't put in a specific replacement item to replace it with something close. So maybe they don't have honey ham, maple syrup ham it is. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that. That's so close. Mm-hmm. But sometimes they'll replace like a can of tomatoes with like applesauce. Yeah. And it's like, that isn't even, or they'll do this, sodas today. I drink a lot of soda and they're buy 2, get 3 free. Holy shit, 12 packs. So you buy 2 12 packs, get 3 more free. It's incredible savings. This motherfucker replaces it with, he had me $60 worth of soda rung up at $12 per 12 pack of and I'm like frantically like, I ain't gonna pay for that shit. I ain't gonna pay for that shit.
I'm about to dispute.
I'm about to dispute. Refund.
Dude, buy 2, get 3 free. That's the best soda deal I've ever heard. What grocery store is this? Is it Walmart?
Kroger,
so
either
solid.
Kroger or Publix. Those are the main 2 I use. At least with Instacart. There's a nice Whole Foods type thing nearby. If I'm actually going to get steaks or meat, I'll usually go there. And if I'm looking for something special, I always go to a butcher or like like if my parents are coming or something, I'll go get them a butcher steak. The butcher
Publix and
place
Kroger
always
are both great. As far as chain grocery stores, they're so solid.
The butcher kicks their ass in every regard. Like, even potatoes, like I'm pretty simple. I like to do steak and potatoes, like steak frites. And the potatoes at the grocery store are all knobby and they got like brown spots on them and you can't find one like big enough. I go to the butcher. He's got these massive like World War II style taters that from the motherland or something.
Your butcher has tates? That's bizarre.
Everything. Oh, he's got produce. He's got his own branded sauces he makes. He's got all sorts of exotic meats. There'll be like quail and pheasant, like already like prepared, like in these little packages. He'll have elk, lamb, everything. It's a butcher.
Got everything. His butcher sells toys, fishing gear.
Fishing gear.
His butcher's name is Walmart.
Yeah, really local guy. His name's Bill Walton. I've never seen him though. Yeah, that's so you've still yet to make a fake black name to assuage those concerns.
Afraid to play that game, huh? You think there's limits to how far you can push this?
I use it for like if I was ordering from a soul food restaurant, then I could totally come up with a black name. I'd be Jamarcus. I'd be Jamarcus Montan or some shit and make some shit up. But
Demarcus, what about OJ Simpson?
It wouldn't show up. But like you're just kind of assigned a dasher on or a shopper on Instacart, so you don't really get a chance to look and see who's going to be doing your shopping and change your name beforehand. It's kind of the opposite. I don't order soul food restaurant. Whenever I see on DoorDash, they've got the whole category it's like black owned restaurants. Like, avoiding that. Like, what the fuck? How is that legal? I hate that with such a fiery passion. Look, I love soul food. Soul food is Southern food. Like white crackers like me eat the same shit y'all eat. When y'all talk about soul food, when I hear about white people not seasoning their food, I'm like, you didn't mean me? You didn't mean us? You didn't mean people from down here? Because we smother that shit.
You
Black
didn't mean
food
my
is
grandma.
Southern food. It's all the same shit. It's poor folk food that's seasoned to and cooked down and made delicious, and it's awful for you. I don't know. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, the black-owned restaurant business is having their own category. Why there's no white category? Why is there no white category?
That'd be racist.
That's true.
There's no Vietnamese owned. I mean, there are Vietnamese restaurants, but there's no Vietnamese owned. Like a Vietnamese man can't make burgers.
I guess I don't use DoorDash enough. I've never seen like black-owned restaurant or
every streaming service has the same thing.
LGBT
Every streaming service has like gay voices and it's black voices.
I see that.
Oh, this
Hispanic
is like
voices.
TikTok we're talking about?
No, like you go on like
This is
HBO
like
and there's like a whole category of like just black people movies, like movies made black, and everybody gets a category.
That's always a quick scroll. It's like, all right, it's weird. I have to pass this on the way to comedy and thriller every single time.
I mean, I've said this a bunch of times. It hasn't changed. It seems like if you flip it and it's bad, like, oh, this is a whites only club, then you know that it's bad. And it's as simple as that, right? But if you flip it and it's okay, like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's have one set of rules. Let's have, fairness. And
I like meritocracy and colorblind. Like that. That's somebody told me that about. I heard colorblind once when I was a kid, as it pertains to race, and I was like, oh, is that how we do things now? Noted. That's how I will live the rest of my life. And then I quickly found no one else was playing by those rules but me.
Yeah, it's
just me
only
over here playing by these self-imposed rules.
It's like, you know what? I'm going to take this new lesson and be Mr. Ping Lee on DoorDash in 25 years.
I think the mayor of Chicago right now is being sued for his racist hiring practices. He's at a black church talking about how the previous administration had 70% white people working. Now it's this, and he lays out his new racial breakdown. Granted, it wasn't like it was 70% black people now. It was a much more diverse thing, though. It was like everybody was kind of even. It was mostly black. It was mostly black now.
I think we're all on the same side of like meritocracy-based hiring.
Yeah.
I have one exception, and I don't know how to do it well. But like, I can imagine some jobs should reflect their population. In my dream, the House of Representatives, for example, is not all white men or not all men, right? In my dreams, the Supreme Court has some diversity of opinion and life experiences. That even if the most talented attorneys are all white men, I could make an argument in the Supreme Court anyway for like more population representation, not in your engineers or your accountants or, like most jobs. But I don't know how to do this without unfairly punishing someone, skipping over a talented attorney to pick some female attorney who surely is not good at her job. But I'm like,
the current makeup's pretty good, right? Like you've got
I think it's pretty good.
A couple people of color, at least one person of color, right?
You got
there's definitely that Hispanic woman. There's the black guy. I don't know how many you need out of 9, but
none.
But anyway, like I can imagine some jobs where they should have like a part of the skill is this representation of life experiences. My wife loves to bring up this one example. They're walking through Afghanistan. This is United States military, and they go through a village. Maybe you know this one, and there's one woman in the group, and she's like, "This doesn't seem right," and they're like, "Why? What's pinging on your radar?" And she's like, there are no children in this village. I think this is an ambush. And it was. And she picked up on it, and they turned out better because she was the only one who thought this is weird that there's no children nearby. And it's like, the rare good argument, for like women carrying guns walking next to you in the battlefield.
I don't think they do that.
Yeah.
I don't think. Do we? I don't even know that we put guns in women's hands and send them into the battlefield. I don't think we actually.
It happened in this story.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't. We probably shouldn't do that. That doesn't seem like a very womanly job.
I think. I remember whenever just watching the war footage last time we actually went to battle, Seemed like they were doing a lot of truck driving to me. And I remember like a lady truck driver maybe got caught by the Iraqis or something like that. I remember something like that happening.
As a whole, women are better at taking G-forces than men. I could imagine there's a spot as pilots. I don't know as a whole if they're better pilots in general, but
why are they better at the G-forces? Is it their powerful lower bodies?
It is because the distance from your brain to your heart has a lot to do with how easily you black out. And if you're 6'4", to exaggerate, then you're more likely to have a brain starved of blood during high Gs than if you're 5'4".
I got curious about this and I looked into it. It actually doesn't have anything to do with sex. It has to do with height. Like a 5'8" man and a 5'8" woman have the same G force.
Which is what I
doubt
said.
that.
But,
No, I still would disagree with both of you and say that that would be true if they sat statically, but you do that kipping maneuver and you flex all the muscles in your lower body, starting with your feet moving all the way up to your buttocks, and you're squeezing with muscular power, intensity, and fortitude to squeeze that blood back up into your body toward your brain to keep from blacking out, in conjunction with a pressure suit that's doing the same thing, squeezing you down there. But I just got to imagine a man would be better at that part of it, the kipping maneuver, whatever it's called.
I don't know. And then you also know that women are weaker than men, even in the lower body, but it's less exaggerated in the lower body. Like, I'm sure you know this. But anyway, I guess I'm just making an argument for merit-based, but like, I just don't know how to quite resolve I don't want everyone to be identical in some roles. There should be some women in police, right? Like if there's a domestic dispute situation, right? Is it so horrible to have a girl around?
No women in police. I just think a man can have plenty of judgment either way. No women in police. I just watched a woman get her gun taken away from her a minute ago. A lady cop, guy takes her gun away from her. She screams, cries, begs, runs away. The man handles it. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank goodness there was a man. I don't think women.
Luckily, there was a man cop there who quickly killed that motherfucker. But he just took her shit away from her like she was. Give her that fucking gun. And she said, don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. And she runs away.
Every man who has a woman partner is like more in danger.
Dude, I carry the shotty. If you gave me a woman partner, I would even have a side. I carry the pistol, but I'm toting my shotgun everywhere. It looked like a bird hunter coming knocking on your house. I'm not, because I'm on my own. I know I am. I am. Like
it's like you brought like an assistant. It's like you brought your kid to work, and you have to keep an eye on it so that she can like LARP as a hero.
All right. That's true a lot of the times. What I'll say is I've seen many instances where it's that. The woman does a bad job. She's the reason people have to die because she can't physically handle the situation. So the suspect who normally would have carried an ass whooping or been intimidated by maybe a larger, more with it cop now thinks he can beat this woman to death. Maybe he just doesn't want to respect a woman, which you might want to consider too, that a lot of people have no respect for a woman telling them to get on their knees. Get on the ground. They hear a big burly man say it. And like, all right, fucking don't hit me, boss. Damn, you're big. You know what I mean? But I saw a woman cop the other day, a trooper. She drugged this Mexican out of his fucking car, put a rear naked choke on him, and started tasing his ass. I said, give me them hands. And he's going, why? I said, give me them hands.
Did he say that? Or did he say, K?
He's saying why, but it's like the only English word he knows is why. And I kind of feel bad for him, but he's fighting the whole way. She ends up like fighting him on the ground, and she ends up shooting him in the head a little, like grazing his head to finally get him to fucking do what she says. And when the gun goes off and like tears a chunk out of the side of his scalp, he's just sitting there going, okay. Immediately he's compliant. He wasn't that crazy.
Missed.
So you didn't like my domestic violence situation, but like special victims unit, right? I know that from TV. That's the rape thing. Perhaps, there's a place for women there where maybe victims would be more comfortable if they had girls around.
Yeah. I don't know. You need women to search women. Look, if we're arresting a woman.
Not in like the beating the pavement. Like,
I don't want
you just want dudes for that.
We all watched a video together on this show where I forget where it was, but I think it was a Muslim man, and like two women pulled up to handle it, and he just like disrespected both women, slapped them around, ended up walking away, not even running. He just beat them up and left. Yeah, and
that's crazy,
isn't it?
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. You look
So
more like
fair.
Leon Trotsky every time I see you.
Thanks,
Yeah, it's coming along. So what's new with you, man?
you fucking jackass.
What's in your mouth?
Come.
Cum? Just munching on some cum, promoting
Just munch on
World
some-
Peace Season
It's
2?
actually no, it's mastic cum. It's supposed to be good for you.
Oh, are you trying to get big jaws? I think that's
Yeah.
what mastic's for. Yeah,
That's what this black guy outside told me that would work.
it's coming along. Where are you
Tastes
coming
like
to this
AIDS. Yo, it tastes like AIDS, bro.
from? Does it? Do you know what AIDS tastes like?
That's a funny idea.
To say that gum tastes like AIDS?
Guys, now,
Yes.
okay, before we get rolling here, fellas, it's time to tame the jungle. Manscaped's got you covered with the lawnmower 5. We gotta get one without laughter, okay?
Okay.
Fellas, it's time to tame the jungle. Manscaped's got you covered with the Lawnmower 5.0. Precision grooming for the modern man. No nicks, no nonsense. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SAMONPKA at manscaped.com. All right, you guys go ahead. What's up?
Oh, I'm just curious what's going on with you. There's a lot of news about Extreme Peace finally coming out.
Not
When
much,
can we
baby.
expect
Just
that?
making history.
Making history?
Making
me more.
history, dog.
Free in Israel?
Free. Well, I mean, they're going through a lot right now, bro.
They are. That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gunners hiding in schools to be eliminated. All sorts of things.
Listen, all jokes aside, if you wake up every day with rockets going over your head and there's a new anti-Semitic attack, I'm just like I feel like if Israel falls, it could mean the end for Western civilization.
And I don't think that's at all exaggerating.
That's true.
Because what happens? Israel goes. Next, it's Sweden, Germany, Italy.
I mean, you guys are making a
Right.
joke out of it, but I'm serious.
What really, I guess, what radicalized you into your Zionism?
Probably that the attack with the paragliders and the go-karts that was real. When
Yeah.
I saw that, I knew I had to rise up and defend Israel.
Have you considered joining the IDF? I think they take volunteers, right?
Well, that brings me to my next point. Hold on one second here. Hey, Schultz, can you get me the DraftKings ad read? Dave Portnoy is a big friend of mine, and we were talking about this. We were talking about this recently. This anti-Semitic sign fiasco. Did you see this happen?
I didn't. Fill me in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did somebody write? I think it was F Jews on a sign.
No, nobody likes
Yeah.
that.
Oh man.
Yeah. So me and Dave, we had to ruin their lives.
Oh,
Well, you got to the bottom of it.
Barstool thing.
Both of those
Yeah.
waitresses, they got fired. They lost their jobs.
Yeah.
And the guy that paid, I guess he's just a customer. No way to get to him. But they got those two waitresses.
We had to ruin their lives. That's what me and Dave Portnoy did because the sign said F Jews, and that simply cannot stand. So
Yeah.
we ruined their lives.
How'd you do that?
Well, we doxed them. We got them fired. We ensured that they'll never work in the world of sports betting ever again.
Well, they shouldn't have put that sign up. I think he
No.
did the right thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I saw that with Dave Portnoy.
He's a good guy.
He immediately offered to send them on a trip to Auschwitz in Europe.
Yeah.
He's like, all expense paid trip to Auschwitz in Germany. It's like step one, it's not in Germany. But then he learned that and he reposted again and was
That's
like, all right,
that's
I've learned
normal
new things."
behavior. That's normal behavior from somebody that's not a psychopath. When someone pisses you off, you send them to Auschwitz on a trip.
Yeah, that's what a normal sane person does who's not unhinged is
Yep.
they piss you off. You don't just
Thank you.
fire them. We might have to censor it. We're gonna put in a different word.
You can bleep it, but if you take it out, it's over, man. I can't do this. I have to make money right now. Are you telling me I can't make money?
I thought you and Dave were tight. Isn't he a billionaire?
Well, I'm a billionaire too, but he's not. It's not like that. He's not giving me billions. All right, listen.
No, it's it's the Confederate flag. It's the
Six Flags.
The Israeli flag. The
Confederate flag, Israeli flag.
Yeah,
They're
the Russian
Brazilian flag,
the Brazilian
Dominican,
flag. And then I think Haiti.
and then the disabled. Also, the disabled have their own flag.
And then they have the LGBT flag also in the Six Flags. Yeah, but they're kind of more traditional. They don't have the black people bar in it yet.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They like to be a little more nuanced there in Six
Get
Flags.
the Black Power fist
Yeah.
like right in the middle. I like to see that.
Yeah.
You like the Black Power? Have you ever seen like not at all plugged in with the gay flag stuff? Black people on Twitter who are like, "Why the hell are we on this?"
Yeah, they don't like that.
No, they're like, "Why are you saying we're the same as like trans and gay?"
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, I would think.
Welcome to the party, my nigga.
Yeah, they hate it. They
hope you like wearing a dress, dog. Welcome to the future.
That is something. They make all those big jacked black guys wear dresses to get in like a Daddy's Day
Hollywood.
Out movies.
The
Hollywood.
Old Spice commercial. That's what you got to do to be in the Old Spice commercial. Hey guys, sorry to break up the flow here. Losing hair? You're not alone, and you don't have to take it lying down. Hims helps you keep what's yours discreetly and affordably. Start your consultation today at 4hims.com/Sam Hyde on PKA. All right,
Excellent.
go ahead. Thank you.
Can you take the hat off so we can see how Hims is working for you?
Hims is doing it. Bang. Yo, you got Hims? This is the before picture.
The anti-Semites took his hair.
That's true. Did Dave
I'm not
Portnoy
Jewish.
take your hair?
Wait.
Dude, but this is before he hasn't even started Hims, guys. Don't let this, judge you against.
Just wait. The Hims are going to get me right, boys. Boom.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
What have you guys been up to?
Oh, just chilling, man. I'm curious what you've been up to with, because I've been looking forward to Extreme Peace Season 2 for a long time. And I was talking to Ryan today, and he says it's finally, you guys kind of got a date on it.
Yeah, June 18th is the release day for Extreme. It's called Extreme Peace now.
What is that? I'm out of the loop.
What?
What is Extreme Peace? I'm out of the loop.
Get with the program, brother.
I'm trying to. Help me out.
Holy shit, dude. Did you not know I was the guest today?
No, not until just a little bit ago.
Very naughty.
Not until so late. They're like, Ryan messaged me about it. Yeah, it's their TV show. The one that was on Adult Swim until the sinister Tim Heidecker, I think, got it deleted. Got it removed. Yeah. Which is a shame because Tim and Eric was very funny.
Yeah, it was.
Was that
but
like...
Yeah, we've... So we worked on... we shot Extreme...
The only real ad is ruined by tech issues. That's funny.
That is funny.
Can you guys hear me, or did I just fuck up the audio here?
We lost you as soon as you started talking about Extreme Peace.
Okay. Yeah, we shot it 2 years ago. It's finally getting wrapped up. It's 3 times as long as World Peace was, and in my opinion, it's better. And it's going to be, I think it's going to rock some heads. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it by talking up my own book here, but I think it's really good. And the guys who are editing it right now think it's really good. We're all very happy with it and excited to put it out there.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I don't know if Kyle and Woody have watched season 1. I've watched it multiple times through. It was the only show to get canceled off Adult Swim, where at the time I was like, fuck, are you serious? Because it was such a natural passing of the torch of Tim and Eric to you guys. And they kind of had this very evident thing of like, no, we're not letting this go. We're the guys here.
True. Yeah. But it's good, man. It's good. It's gonna knock some heads around. Are you near Austin? Are you coming to the premiere?
I'm not. I'm in St. Louis, but Ryan messaged me, said the premiere is Austin, New York, and LA. You guys are doing a tour for it?
Yeah, we're doing three cities. I think we're doing 2 nights each. It's going to be fun. The fans have been waiting patiently, and they deserve all the goodies that they're going to get.
Good. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Are you guys? So you guys are going to do a stand-up show prior to the reveal?
No, I think we're just going to air. We're going to air 2 episodes of the show, and make a little appearance on stage, say thank you and whatnot. But I don't want to torture people with my stand-up. I don't think.
No,
No.
It's funny to watch. The
Well,
torture.
it's funny to watch in a way, but at this point, I don't know if it's appropriate for this event.
Last time I talked to you was at that gun event a couple of years ago now, and you were like kind of like preparing, getting ready, because you were like, in a few days I'm going to do a show with Shane Gillis, and I need to figure out the way to handle that, because you don't want to go in there, or maybe you do, and do like your standard show where you like just fuck with the audience deliberately. How did that go? And are you doing any more shows with him?
We had it's a hard transition, because if you've seen my stand-up that's online, the point of it is to blow the audience out of the room and make people uncomfortable. And the stand-up I've been doing for the past year and a half or 2 years. Did I lose you guys?
No, I hear every word.
No, we hear you.
I can't see you. I don't know if you can see me though.
We can see you.
you.
You look
Okay.
great.
Thanks, man. Oh shit. Sorry. Oral care upgraded. Quip's sleek electric toothbrush makes your routine automatic. Get your first refill free at getquip.com/Woody on PKA. No, the stand-up I've been doing, it's not good. I don't really care about it. It's just kind of a money grab. But
What?
They pay me for the attempt, not the laughs.
You don't even think it's good?
it's fine. I don't like stand-up though. I don't think it's a high art form. I think it's stupid. And mine is not great. So whatever. But yeah, it's just needed to do it. Needed the dough.
Yeah.
So you're down to your last billion.
So you get like
we spent $1.5 million on Extreme Peace.
Can you tell me more about Extreme Peace? I know you're mocking me, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Is it animated? Tell me about it.
It's a sketch comedy show, Woody.
Okay.
And it's extremely good, and you should watch it, every episode of it, and you're gonna like it.
Are you in it? Maybe that's a
yeah.
question. Okay.
I'm in it.
a big part of it. Yeah.
He's the star of it.
It's me and my guys, Nick and Charles, and at this time around we had Eric Hayden. So it's four guys.
Yeah. Eric was in some of the sketches in the first one. The guy who like takes a bunch of niacin and gets all red.
Yeah. This time though, he's much more like he's in a lot of sketches this time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And I saw you, at least in the trailer, you integrated some of the kind of whack pack of weirdos you've picked up through Fish Tank.
Yeah, we got Mary Tennant. We got some Fish Tank folks in there. We got some homeless people off of Craigslist. It's pretty good.
How many
That's what
episodes
Puffy
is the
does.
season?
This one's at 6 episodes.
Oh, so these are long episodes. If it's the same number of episodes and three, okay.
Yeah.
Like hour long.
About 30 minutes ish, 35, and then there's like stuff if you go on our paywall and you get the XL pack, you get more. There's like extra sketches, add-on stuff that you get with that. So there's a lot of content though.
Nice.
When did the writing process start for it? Did you like sit down and decide to make a season and just work hard, or is it evolving over a long period of time? What is that? I've never done this.
No, we're sort of sketch writers. That's kind of our bread and butter. So we have we kind of just write stuff throughout the year that gets assembled in like Evernote or Google Docs or whatever. So that's actually the easy part because we have a ton of sketches ready to go for season 3, for example.
My favorite sketch you've ever done is when you're fishing with the kid and you're telling him, never tell a woman your real name. Never. I would love for you to find that kid again. Like he's a little bit older now, and like rehash that. I'd love to return to that.
You could do a movie, a growing up, coming of age movie.
That could be good, a feature length film.
When you have a sketch idea you like, do you just jot down the idea to sort of flush out later, or do you just
are you asking questions just to ask questions?
No, I don't know anything about this business, so I'm asking you to talk about it.
If you have a funny idea, you just jot it down. That's kind of how it works. It's really easy actually. It's kind of easy to write the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we saw that in the iDubbbz documentary with the troll, the gaslight document. Like a number of things in there could have just been sketches too.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just thinking of the stupidest thing that can happen in a setting and then, writing it out. It's pretty fun.
That dude's had a total collapse since you guys had the warring documentaries. Like he had a chance to bounce back when that happened, and he is further down the road than ever. I hear more about it from Harley since we have him on pretty often, and he quit that boxing shit.
I would recommend that he finds God.
iDubbbz? That doesn't seem likely. He seems pretty all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yahweh.
No, Jesus Christ, not some weird shit.
The real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real one would be good right about now, okay, guys? Not the imaginary one.
Yes. Very true. I wanted to ask, you brought it up years ago, and I've heard you on multiple interviews talking about it. The super long-term project, the video game, like the huge video game project, has that been tabled for Extreme Peace, or are you still grinding away at that?
No, I've been writing it. I've been chunking away at the writing documents, and as soon as Extreme Peace is out, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a very simplistic auto shooter type game, like a Vampire Survivors type game, to get our feet wet and to sort of gauge the difficulty level and learn about what we should and shouldn't do for the big game. But we're still working on that. That's my life goal, really.
More than even the TV show?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you how in depth is, like, if your first game ever is going to be like a Fallout level deep game, that has to feel insurmountable.
No, it feels surmountable. Yeah.
Good to hear.
By the way, sorry, that brings me to the next point. Guys, train smarter, not harder. Whoop gives you deep insights into your recovery, sleep, and strain so you can perform at your peak. Get your first month free Apple Watch app at whoop.com/Woody PKA podcast.
Be sure to use it, guys. Make the show look good.
Thank you.
Woody PKA podcast. We told them to go with a more organic code, but they said no. We know what sells. We're professional businesses because everyone who works at Whoop is operating at 1,000% because they sleep so well.
They sleep most of the time. They're sleeping pretty much all day.
They're constantly sleeping, these guys. But it's high quality sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you guys got any big plans? Anything crazy?
In like real life? Just like summer vacations and shit. Redoing a bunch. I need to talk to Nick. I'm like doing a bunch of home renovations and I need his genius because I don't want to be had by some fucking contractor who's going to take me for a ride because I know that's a possibility.
For sure.
I talked to Nick in Austin for like an hour about this at that guy's house we were all at, and I just brought up to him because I was like, I'm a big fan of Nick Rochefort for so long. I'm like, I want to chat to him about something. So I was going to do something with my deck, and I asked him questions, and immediately he was like, "What's your address? I'm going to Zillow this." And nice. he goes, "Wow, this is a nicer house than I thought you'd live in." And immediately he said that to me, and then he gave me a bunch of good tips on how not to get fucked and hosed. Yeah. But I watched the streams. If you guys haven't out there in our audience, watch Nick Rochefort talk about real estate. He makes fun of retards who do things wrong and cheaply. And
Scuffed realtor.
And
it's good. It's worth looking up. Look it up. Scuffed realtor.
It is funny. Yeah, I would recommend it. And it makes me self-conscious about my style and things sometimes because I'll see a room that looks fine to me and he'll be like, oh, you can tell some fucking Persian idiot lives here with, this, look at this. There's this gold accents on this. This is obviously a colonial style house, and they've shirked every bit of real style that it was born with. Now it's just a weird transplant into a different style. And so I've learned a lot from that. I like it.
Yeah.
Does he help you?
He knows his stuff. Yeah, he does. Yeah, of course.
With your house?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, what else is up with you? Other than, obviously, you're like, everything's going great. Your alliance with Dave Portnoy has seemingly gotten you sponsors with everyone.
Yeah.
Every corner.
No, I'm just trying to keep my head down and keep sort of my nose to the grindstone and make money while it's possible to do so. And because with this type of career, you never know how long it's going to last. I bought a building. I'm renovating a building for us to put our new office in, which is painful. It is really, really difficult to get stuff done, but we're getting it done. We have the Sam Hyde show, which is do you see the Dear Elon video?
I did. That was great. Yeah. I'm
going to spin that out into a weekly talk show type thing, and we're going to do higher production value than the type of streams we've done in the past. We bought a bunch of analog audio hardware. We're going to go nuts on the audio quality. We had a really good sound engineer fly out from Los Angeles to help us with our sort of hardware settings profile. We've got that dialed in. Yeah, but just trying to be present, be grateful, and make dough.
Nice. You're still all in on crypto, Bitcoin as your primary...
Bitcoin, yes. On Bitcoin, yeah, of course.
You don't do the other cryptos? Just Bitcoin?
No, my guy. No.
I don't know enough about it. I don't have any
the other cryptos. The other cryptos are gambling, which is fun, but it's not the same category of thing. Bitcoin is it's a discovery, and in my opinion, it's on par with the steam engine, electricity, writing, in terms of its significance. If you believe that the future is going to be more digital than it is now, if you believe that the AI is going to get smarter and not dumber. I mean, here's the thing: the AI. You know how AI is dumb, right?
Yeah.
And it gives you the wrong result
all the time.
Okay. This is as dumb as the AI is ever going to be.
Sure.
Right now, it's not going to get dumber. It's going to get something else. So if you believe that the future is in some way more cyberspace oriented than our current era is, then Bitcoin is the thing in cyberspace that has a property that is like a physical property. It's scarcity, and it's so significant and unique that I would say you can think of it as a physical property because it's tied to millions of tons of real world compute equipment and terawatts, gigawatts of electricity that secures the network, so it does have a physical tangibility to it. Anyway, whatever. You're not a Bitcoin guy, but yeah, I am all in on the Bitcoin maxi thesis.
I struggle with it's already so high, and I know this isn't rational, but I often get that thought of I've probably already missed it.
That's called unit bias. That's unit bias. That's not anything that's real. It's 110,000 for one Bitcoin. It's one whatever millionth of that for a Satoshi, which is if Bitcoin is if it actualizes, if it becomes what it's supposed to be, then people will be talking about it in terms of Satoshis, not a whole Bitcoin. A whole Bitcoin will be like a rare thing. That's just unit bias. You have to look at it. Listen, I know what I sound like. All right. I know what I sound like. I'm not an idiot. Taylor,
Yeah.
I'm not some asshole that thinks there's their kids over there. I'm not some asshole that thinks I'm some fucking genius guy, okay? But I would say it would behoove you to look up the ultimate Bitcoin argument by Murad Mammadov, that video, which is it's a Pomp video, Anthony Pompliano, the guy who's so good at podcasting that he can't even focus the fucking camera. The guy that, you know what I love? I love people who are professional podcasters whose life depends on their ability to communicate clearly, and they can't pronounce English words. They can't pronounce L's and R's. They sound like fucking morons when they talk. Anyway, Anthony Pompliano, good guy. He did an episode with Murad Mammadov. Murad Mammadov is called The Ultimate Bitcoin Argument. And I think that anybody who's interested in what Bitcoin is should listen to that video.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it pulled up. I'll listen to this. I haven't done any. It's an hour and 40 minutes. I've never heard of Anthony Pompliano. See the guy that can't say L's and R's?
Yeah, he's a retard.
He's the retard. Okay, so we're really listening to it for this guy Murad.
Yes.
He's the genius.
I mean, Pomp's, to be fair, he's good. I'm particular about people who are bad at speaking publicly when it's how they make their money.
Sure. Yeah, that isn't a very good combination at all. Well, maybe I should buy 0.01. I guess unit bias again. I should just buy a little bit, treat it like a.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't buy it. You should research it if it's interesting to you. You should look into it and do the research, and then establish your position accordingly. Which for me is every penny that I have to my name.
Just constantly pouring more in. Does this guy Murad have the same opinion you said about the other cryptos, where he's like,
no, he got blown out of the water, and now he's a shit corner.
Oh, so he's doing his own grift now.
Yeah, he's a smart kid though, but he lost everything and then came back and doing a meme coin thing, which I don't think you should buy those.
Speaking of that, the meme coin and your good buddy Dave Portnoy, this was like months ago now. Didn't he get like a bunch of shit for pushing different meme coins to all his followers? And
look, I don't know. I don't know what it is with these this modern obsession with gambling and sports, and it's what masquerades as masculinity nowadays. Let me tell you something. If you're interested in sports, you are gay. You are no. It's not funny. It's not funny. If you are interested in sports, you are a homosexual. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's
preach.
The modern obsession with gambling, sports betting, fantasy football, it's a surrogate for masculinity. It's poisoning our culture. And these people, Dave Portnoy doesn't belong anywhere near a camera. He's ugly. He's stupid. He's stupid. I'm not impressed. Listen. I'm not impressed that some Jew made $1 million. No offense, made $1 million gambling. That doesn't mean you're a business tycoon. That doesn't mean you know anything about how to make money in a way that benefits society. It means you're a fucking parasite, okay? He doesn't belong near a camera. He shouldn't even be in this country, quite honestly. But yeah, no. We're boys. Yeah, we're. Guys, check it out.
One bite. Everyone knows the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should be pizza reviewing, and I guess his whole thing is pizza reviewing and gambling.
He should go do that in Israel. Pizza reviews in Israel, my brother.
On the Gaza Strip.
Get the hell out of this country.
What does he say when you bring this stuff up to him?
Well, he's got a good sense of humor, actually. He rolls with it. You know, he knows it's all in fun and games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all in good fun.
Yeah.
You and Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he could help fund season 3 with some of that gambling money.
He did help fund season 3. He's put up quite a bit of money for it.
That's crazy. Has he offered to give you a free vacation to Poland?
Yeah, I've taken several trips to Auschwitz for my re-education, and each time it's more enlightening than the last.
Oh, I can't imagine. What a crazy thing to do.
Yeah,
Just send people to Auschwitz because they made a
They bothered you?
sign. Yeah.
I mean, if I had the money, that's what I would do. Whatever.
Where would be your historic location that you sent people on like a vengeance vacation?
South Africa.
You'd send them to Cape Town?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. South Africa kind of looks like it sucks.
Kyle, are we ever going to see FPSRussia again?
I don't think so. They won't let me have guns. They said if I touch one, they'll give me a decade in the federal penitentiary. So probably want to avoid that.
Yeah.
Could probably go to like Cambodia, one of those third world places, and blow up some water buffaloes. Could do that.
ATF doesn't watch YouTube videos.
They do. They
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah. Or as they refer to them, Exhibit A.
Yeah.
They watch.
Could you go to Cambodia and play with a gun, or would they arrest you as soon as you got back?
Oh,
They don't. They're not like. See, that's what South Korea does with drug use. You could be a South Korean, come over to the U.S., smoke some weed in Colorado, everything's legal, but you go back, they do a drug test, they'll send you to South Korean prison for doing American drugs. We don't do that because that would be insane. And I could go to Cambodia and shoot guns, sure.
Okay.
Isn't that where you can rent a water buffalo and blow it up?
Well, you rent the bullets, you buy the buffalo. They don't want it back at the end.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, you can probably buy people in Cambodia. Life's cheap.
Not good ones.
No? You can't dress them up like you did those mannequins?
They don't have any
Nah,
good
they got a real
Cambodians.
landmine problem over there. You get a bunch of stumpy brown people. You don't want that. Unless you're into like stump play, a little fetish. You into
No,
stump play?
that's even worse than sports. Stump play. that's you know what that is, Kyle? That's pseudo masculinity. People who want to feel like they're big men because they have their.
I want to feel like a big guy. Come here,
Like
stump guy. I'm going to kill you.
Stump plays an American
just
epidemic.
lift them off the ground.
Damn.
You can't. Yeah, that would be sick if you can get your guns back.
Could go to Ukraine. Could volunteer. They'd hook me up, right?
You could go.
The Russians. Maybe I fight for the Russians, though, right?
That would be more lore.
I want to be on the
accurate.
winning side here. I mean, come on.
That's true.
You don't join the Gazan army. You know, they're kind of on the way out.
Dude, they let that
They are
fat
not doing
80s
well.
actor hang out with Putin. They would let you hang out with Putin.
I don't know. There was an American, a Texan, this big fat dummy who went to Ukraine to fight for the Russians, and he would vlog. He'd be like, "I'm here with the fucking Ruskies, the second most powerful army in the world. What's up?" They raped him to death. The Russians did. The Russians raped him to death, and he was not. It was not a rape of passion because he was not an attractive man. It was one of those like put some power over another man rapes.
Yeah, I
You
was
know
going to
that.
say, you're just demonstrating their power as the second best military in the world.
There's no way a fat guy from Texas went to Russia and they molested him to death, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, they thought he was a spy, so they raped him and killed him.
What?
Yeah,
This wasn't.
yeah.
Why did they kill him? What's the purpose of teaching someone a lesson if you're just going to undo it?
Dude, it taught me a
afterward?
lesson. I decided not to fucking go over there. I bought a code. I was on Duolingo learning Ukrainian. Then they castrated that one guy and raped the other one. And I'm like, those are two of my least favorite things. So I decided to stay here and play Call of Duty instead.
You had to.
God damn.
That would be awesome. Is if somehow President Trump, it would have to be like Barron, who told him about you.
Oh, I just need
And
to buy
then
$2 million worth of meme coin. That's all. If you buy enough Trump coin, you get to go to that dinner tonight. It's tonight. I
Really?
would have done it. Yeah.
Would that be? You could
One
spend
of
a
the
little
guys
bit
who's
of your
going to the
Bitcoin.
dinner. One of the guys who's going to the dinner. Nobody knows who he really is. I think his like screen name is Ogle, but he wears a mask everywhere. No one knows who he is or what he looks like.
His name's Ogle.
This is like online name, I guess. Yeah, it's all.
How do you
anybody
guys
knows
know
now.
all this shit?
The news?
Kyle's just a news junkie. He knows all about the molested Texans in Russia.
I need to go on the war subreddit more and see what's going on.
Combat footage, Ukraine video report. Yeah, you'll see some nasty shit. You'll say the Russians will execute people with sledgehammers and stuff. It's crazy.
Ugh.
It's really, really soul depleting stuff. Which you don't send any of those. You don't send any war videos in our chat anymore.
You fucking cry about it. I seen you one castration and you having a big deal.
You can't look at that stuff. Are you getting dark, Kyle?
No, not dark. I just like the war footage. Honestly, I like the weapons. I like seeing shit blow up, and I like the like the drone warfare. I like seeing how that technology is rapidly advancing. Like every time the Russians find like a counter to a drone, it goes back and forth countering and coming up with new techs and countering those techs. I like that.
Are they still doing wired drones?
Yeah, the fiber optic drones. Those are pluses and minuses. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't like the war footage. Puts me in a bad mood.
Yeah, you're not supposed to look at that,
watch
guys.
war footage and he watches sports instead. Just tell me you suck dick.
That's true. It's pretty gay of me to watch the NHL playoffs. Every time I'm watching it, I'm like, oh man, these.
Well, NHL's all white guys, right?
Yeah,
Almost.
it's hockey.
Yeah, that's different, except for that one murderer guy. But
Well,
yeah,
he was black. Yeah.
you're allowed to watch NHL though. That's a white.
Who was the murderer, Taylor? Maybe you know his name?
I don't remember his name.
I think if you look up black murderer, you can get the gist of what he looked like. If you just do Google images for black murderer.
Hockey murder, I guarantee that guy comes up because it's the only story like that in ever.
These are all different people, Sam.
These are all different people.
There's some things that they share in common, though, that you can sort of get a heuristic sort of vibe for what to
Holy
what
shit,
to avoid.
5 billion results? Wow.
Oh, I thought I was locked out. Hey,
Yeah.
thank you.
Dude, the UK let that guy off, or they chose not to pursue any charges, which is like,
I saw that. That's
insane.
nuts.
Yeah. If you know anything
nuts.
about hockey and you've played, you know what he did doesn't happen. There's a reason that's never happened.
Oh, did he cut a guy with his skate? What happened?
Yeah, he kicked a guy in the chest and it ended up slitting his throat and he died. He had like just gotten married, like young guy, promising career, had even played a bit for the Penguins. He probably wasn't gonna, he wasn't gonna be an NHL star, but still didn't deserve to die.
He was an NHL player, maybe.
Yeah, at his best, he could be like a fringe NHL player, maybe.
Well, this is why, dude. This is why I don't fuck with sports, is because there was like an outpouring of support for the murderer guy on just on social media, like from sports fans. They were like, he doesn't deserve to have his future in the NHL taken away for an accident. It's just unhinged behavior from super fans. That's what sports will make you put the wants and the desires and the like biological drive of people that aren't you ahead of yourself. And that's why it's like a sickening thing. Like watching white British football fans crying that their team of Africans won the soccer game. Like these people not only are they genetically not related to you, they're the genetic antithesis of like who you are and what you're meant to be. And you're crying because they won a soccer game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crying over a victory or a defeat in sports when you're not even making money, you paid money to watch. It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Pretty cringe. But yeah,
What's that hat you got on?
What, my yarmulke?
That's his hair.
that's his hair. This is his pre-hymns.
I've started wearing. I wear a clear yarmulke now because I don't want to send the wrong signal to people. You know, I want to make sure that I'm in the right way with Yahweh because I'm hiding my head. That's why they do that. It's to hide their head. Yeah. And I believe that's a good thing. That's what I do is I hide my head from God. But yeah, I make it clear so I get more, can get more leeway online.
Is that the real lore? It's to hide your head from God?
I think that's the way it is, yeah.
I'm not going to look it up.
I got ChatGPT open. Why niggas be wearing yarmulkes?
That should get a good answer. If it were to hide your head from God, you'd wear a bigger hat.
Well,
Like
some
that-
of them do wear bigger hats.
Oh, yeah, the Orthodox, they have the big brim hats.
Does
Those
it
are
have
better
magical
hats.
properties? Why don't they wear it
No.
indoors? That always seems so disrespectful.
The brim hats?
Nah,
Do they
the
wear those?
yarmulke.
Oh.
Yarmulkes are good.
You
Well,
can't even
those
notice.
furry hats are like $10,000. The ones the Orthodox
Oh.
guys wear that are the big fur cylinders, those are like 10 G's.
Those are kind of cool looking sometimes. They
Kinda,
come off
yeah.
more.
Can't
I
lie
asked
about that.
ChatGPT the same question. It says, "This content may violate our usage policy."
It's hiding the truth.
It doesn't want us to know. It doesn't want us to know the immense power that comes from wearing a yarmulke.
Hiding your head from God.
Yeah.
That was probably removed, Woody, on orders of Dave Portnoy. Other people were finding things out, and he shut it right down. Nah,
I use a custom ChatGPT model that's supposed to mimic Dave Portnoy. It's trained off of data from Dave.
Oh, so then it's just going to be a lot of sports and gambling, that seems
And
like a terrible
Judaism.
model for you.
Well, I mean, I need to know what's going on in the minds of the playmakers over here.
Yeah. What's he up to now? I don't know. It's all fucking sports and gambling. I guess that is how he made his billions. Is he a billionaire? Is he that level?
I don't know.
I thought he was. Maybe Barstool Sports isn't worth as much as I thought it was.
Doing really well.
Yeah. Well, he bought his company back for like $1.
That was a good deal.
That's a solid deal. I would have bought it for $1, and then I sold it to him for like fucking $25.
Oh, you 25 bagger on your money. That's why.
25X.
That's why you're.
That's why I'm the fucking king, dude. Did you hate sports as a kid? Like you didn't like competing in them?
No, I liked.
Like
I liked sports as a kid. I liked playing sports. I was very physical, but organized sports, no. I never. It always felt like something was weird about it.
really, you seem like because you're a big guy, like you would have had those like coaches who really didn't give a shit about the
Recruiting.
history class they taught, but really they were a basketball coach who taught history, like leaning on you to be like, "Oh, Sam, you got to come out for the team."
Well, no, I grew up in a rich town, and sports were not integral to the high school. It's in New England, so it's not like a Texas school or something where sports are a big deal. It really wasn't. I did track and taekwondo in high school.
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's probably one of the martial arts you like the least now, or at least that feels like one that gets bullied by the other martial artists.
Joe Rogan said something about it that is true, which is that it's good. It just messes with your range, because in taekwondo everything is at kicking range. So the first time somebody comes at you to throw a punch, you are in like a complete alien universe. But the taekwondo, it does have beautiful kicks, and it does have like extremely powerful kicks. It's an interesting. It's not a useless sport or endeavor, but you will get your ass kicked if you try to throw hands with somebody. That's what my first fight. I got sucker punched, and I had no idea what to do with a person that was 2.5 feet away from me instead of 4 feet away from me, anticipating a kick. You know. It's like a different thing.
Are you still boxing?
No, I'm trying to rehab this shoulder injury, and I actually think I found the key like yesterday, which is lateral raises in the scapular plane. So I've been doing that, and my shoulder's feeling really good. So I'm probably going to start doing some pad work again soon. Yeah, I got to get in shape. I've been really stressed out because we're at the tail end of finishing Extreme Peace, and I also have some other projects right now that are just taking a lot of attention, and it's really getting stressful. But I think we're at a point where it's like a new phase in life is about to unlock, and that kind of thing always feels like you're standing at a precipice. You don't know what's going to happen, and it's like it's just going to be a big jump. So I've just been stressed out, not eating good, not exercising. I got to fix that like ASAP.
How'd you hurt your shoulder?
Jiu-jitsu 10 years ago, I rolled the wrong way. I held onto a seat belt and got my neck cranked back, rolling the wrong way, and fucked my shoulder up. And it's never felt right since. But I think I used ChatGPT to diagnose it. I thought it was an impingement or something, but it turns out it's subscapular tendinopathy. And I think I have the fix for it. So I'm feeling pretty excited about that.
Cool. Did it
Do you
happen
take
fast?
testosterone or anything? Do you take any steroids, any HGH?
I took I'm on TRT, which doesn't do anything for your injuries. I did DECA, which made my shoulder feel fucking fantastic. But that's not a long-term fix.
Is DECA a type of steroid like testosterone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, HGH or something might help with the healing too. We were talking about that earlier before you joined about Joe Rogan's enormous skull and how he clearly overdid it. He's not taking 1 IU a day. He's huge.
I think my head is probably big enough. I don't need to lean into that any more than I already am. And I don't want to fix it I want to fix it mechanically. Like I want whatever is wrong to stop being wrong. I don't want to be like so quickly healing that I don't notice the physical dysfunction in the joint. So I think these corrective exercises are going to work. Feels really good right now. I'm not in any pain right now, and it's because of those lateral raises.
Yeah. What's your TRT regimen like? Do you inject weekly, daily? What do you do?
Every 5 days, I do 1 ml of I think it's like 200 whatever per whatever. It's like a little bit higher than a standard dose, but it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel? Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle.
What it does, the reason why I wouldn't get off of it, it's not because of a physical, like a vanity thing. Because I've been a pretty big fella even before the TRT. But it really, I would say it levels out your mood. Like I honestly can't remember the last time that I was depressed or had like feminine, bitchy, helpless, also vengeful thoughts. I'm very mentally level, and it's thanks to the TRT, because if I go 6 days or 7 days without taking it, I can start to feel that like that sort of unwanted
feminine, bitchy energy.
Yeah, like I'll start just thinking like, this fucking guy he owes me $200. What does he think he's not thankful for the bread that I got in the box? That type of like thinking starts to creep in if I miss if I'm not on it. It's just I prefer to be not bothered by stuff.
Was that your experience, Kyle?
Yeah, I feel
More
great all the
mentally
time. Yeah, I inject every day, so I like the idea of keeping the levels like super even. I've heard when you bounce your levels a little bit, that fluctuation is pretty big. I don't remember what the half-life of testosterone is. I'm not up on the data anymore. I just have everything written down. But I don't know, that fluctuation can also make you feel kind of fucky. But immediately it's like I feel good about everything. Feel positive. Feel like confident. And like you really hit it on the nail on the head there with that like bitchy vindictiveness. Like you kind of let all that go. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Somebody owes me $200. That's only cost me $200 to never see that person again. Start thinking of things that way. So I don't know. I like it a lot. I think it's a miracle drug.
Yeah.
When Taylor finally like flips that switch and he goes on T, because he's a big dude. You've met him. He's bulky. He's powerful. When he finally goes on a dose, he's going to become a mountain of a man. He's going to be like a
beast.
WWE superstar.
Yes.
He's going to be a big, nasty beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll know it. We'll see the difference. It'll be like, what the fuck? Wait.
I was noticing the size of Taylor's arm, like his up his bi and tri together. tonight.
It's just
on
a
the show.
big. It's just a
I was
big,
like, this
funky
is so
arm.
fucking strong. I beat
I'm like,
Taylor
how did
in
he get that
wrestling
much
15
meat
years
in
ago.
there?
I'm retired. I'm resting 1-0. Fuck that. I'm never doing it again. He's
I'm
so
like, how
fucking
did this
strong
guy
now.
get so much meat?
Dude, it's like what's gonna finally tip it over to me finally just starting it is how many of my friends, like my boys that I hang out with regularly from high school and whatnot, are starting it, and I'm seeing in them like, oh, that's a level of vascularity that they didn't have fucking
The
3 months ago.
vascularity, the size, the girth.
The girth.
the
It's the girth
thickness.
that gets me. Yeah. It's the girth and the way they're not feminine pussies anymore.
I'm a fan
Yeah.
of the girth as well.
Yeah.
One thing, Taylor, is if you're a husky guy, you're gonna get sleep apnea.
Fuck.
So you have to, before you start doing TRT, you should start doing cardio probably and get used to that lifestyle because it's gonna make the mass around your neck and your chest bulkier, and it'll give you mechanical sleep apnea.
I got so lean that
Just
I
so
couldn't
you know.
sleep on my side anymore because the veins in my arm were so close to the skin that any pressure on them would cut the blood circulation off to my hands.
Well, you also got like
never-
Derek had you on a ridiculous regimen.
Dude, my femoral arteries were popping out to the point where I was afraid to I was gonna bump into something and like cut one. It's like that's my lifeblood right there. Like that thing gets popped, I die, and it's bulging out of my thighs.
Yeah.
I just remember it was I mean, when you get your body fat down to 10%, you look weird. You look like a shaved cat.
Yeah. You looked so thirsty.
Oh, yeah, super thirsty and hungry. Yeah.
You were just dried out. But you had to do that for the photo shoot for Derek's thing, but 15 pounds more on you there where you're like not like 3 meals away from dying of starvation. Like that looks better. Looks more normal.
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah, probably so.
Sam?
He's getting in his car.
Well,
Yeah, yo.
okay, that I gathered. Is the city a secret? I want to know.
No, it's just raining.
Still don't know.
Providence.
Okay.
Providence. Yeah, the big
wow.
onion.
Didn't even
I
aware.
saw a clip of you in a GTRS the other day going to like get some fast food, and some dude was trying to drag you out of your car for a picture.
That was Chris Lynch. That was a fake influencer.
You
Influencer
tricky
video.
fucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris is a great guy.
Chris is the man.
Yeah, he was a fun guy to chat with. I like him.
If I didn't have Chris, I'd be dead.
Is he how long have you been working with Ryan now? Rivera?
About a month.
And he's like,
He's awesome. Ryan
Yeah.
Rivera is great.
he is awesome.
He is awesome.
Met him through the Gavin McInnes show when we had
Yeah.
Gavin on. And this feels like a huge step up because he wasn't really talking much on the Gavin McInnes show. Like it was mostly Gavin talking when he was on. But I watched a couple of your episodes, the Sam Hyde show. People should check that out at mde.tv. And having him as kind of a chime in third mic, he's good at
Yeah. He's really funny too. I like him a lot, man. I'm really excited about working with him.
that. How often is Sam Hyde show coming out? Weekly?
We're aiming for once a week, but because we've been finishing Extreme Peace, it has not been once a week, but we're going to get there.
Okay. So you're constantly spinning like 8 projects. It seems that way.
We got some projects going. We got a few projects here and there. We do it. We're getting the work done. We're doing a little bit of work over here. Nothing big. Don't worry about it.
No, not a Skyrim-sized video game, just little projects.
Just little shit, little tinker around, mess around, see if I can do something. Bow!
Is the video game going to be more fantasy or sci-fi, or do you not even know yet?
It's going to be all genres.
All genres. Now that usually means that it's going to be good.
Yes.
When they can't decide.
Best games are combo shooters, platformers.
Oh, they're
Like,
so
that's
good.
better.
And you go, wow, they couldn't decide, so they did fucking everything. What a good project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait. Just wait. You're going to like what you get.
Oh, I will. I'm sure it's going to be an Xbox exclusive.
You don't always get what you pay for, but you always pay for what you get.
So I think that's Psalms.
Don King.
Oh, Don King.
Yeah.
He was that thief who fucked with all the boxers, right?
Mike Tyson. Big
Yeah,
Hell
Mike
yeah.
Tyson. I don't know. That's pretty fun. Actually, that's not even impressive. I could trick a boxer.
Yeah.
Are you
In
serious?
the short term, you'd be fine.
Like a professional boxer, is there anyone less equipped to negotiate on their own behalf?
That's really funny.
The fucking boxer. They don't know what's up.
The boxing manager's easiest job in the world. Just lie to retarded people all the time.
Oh yeah, dude, you can lie to their face. They walk into the next room as soon as they go through the doorway. They don't know. They don't know what the fuck's up anymore. Yeah, only the professional ones though. Actually, that one dude, Mayweather, he's not brain addled, right? But that's because there's like stats. He only gets punched like every fourth fight or something, right?
I think he's retarded.
He's retarded too. Oh, then
I think
it's
he
a
can't
hopeless
read.
endeavor.
Yeah, you can't
I
read.
think that predated the boxing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like he's just a general retard, not like
He's not like those other smart boxers.
not a sports-based retard. Yeah. Are you in your Raptor or one of your other fancy
No,
cars?
this
I know
is
you're
a
big car guy.
2001 Dodge Ram. This has a 24 valve and a 5-speed. And it is a shit box, but it's reliable and it has charm. And I've grown into it like a skin.
A reliable Dodge, you say? You gonna come on my show and lie to me?
No, it's got almost 300,000 miles on it, and it has not. I've spent maybe $2,000 getting it fixed.
I changed my mind. That's kind of cool. I like
Over
that.
the years.
Oh, over the years, that's not too bad. I thought you were usually whipping around in that slick Raptor.
I have the Raptor R, which is exciting. I sold the GT3 RS because it was not a boss car, and I have a Venturi 400 trophy, which is that's kind of my central piece right now. Although I really want a Diablo SVR.
Venturi 400 trophy. I've never.
Yeah, Zach,
Oh,
can
that
you
was
show me
pretty
what a
slick.
Venturi 400 trophy looks like?
If you look up Venturi 400 trophy, there should be a red one with gold wheels. That's the one I bought.
The 1992.
I don't know what year it is, but it's red with gold wheels. It's the one that comes up right away.
Yeah, then that's the 92. That's awesome. It's created
That is
for
cool.
early 90s single marquee racing series in France. Kevlar composite bodywork for when Dave Portnoy sends his guys. Kevlar on the outside.
Assad's not
keeping you
getting through
safe.
that.
Yeah, they're calling it Mossad proof.
We'll see. I haven't tested that out yet, but I'm working on a plan right now.
A plan? Don't give too many details.
Yeah, you wouldn't want them.
No, I mean you've already got Dave Portnoy on your ass. You don't need you don't need all of Mossad.
I can't handle more heat.
Risky business. No. You're just driving around. Dude, I love it's like you're on an adventure every time Sam comes on the show. You get to see him drive, you get to see him walk around, you get to learn what areas of his office don't have good internet connection. All sorts of fucking fun treats.
You get to see me fuck.
Get to see you not yet.
That's the hangout for $50. You can see that at the end of the
Just
month.
wait. Just wait
Yeah.
for the game to be done, and I'll show you me fucking.
Are they gonna have you like be the bear, like the Baldur's Gate thing, where you can opt into fucking you or not?
Yeah, definitely. No, this game the game is gonna be devoid of any faggotry. So if you're gonna play this game and you want to choose your own penis, I hate to disappoint you, but that's not gonna be in the game.
Any bestiality?
No.
Nah, I'm not
Hell
interested.
no.
Sorry, man. Man, you lost me. You lost me.
Can you
there.
play as a
What do you
hairy
guys
woman?
spend your money on?
Me? I don't have any like
Yeah.
unexpensive hobbies. I mean, going out with
You
friends,
should get into
vacations.
something. You go on vacations?
I buy a lot of weightlifting equipment. I have a big gym in my basement with a bunch of machines, a
Nice.
bunch of dumbbells, barbells.
Nice.
Love that. That's probably my
you
favorite
get
thing.
Rogue?
As an adult. I have some Rogue stuff, but a lot of the machines and other stuff I have is Titan because I didn't see a discernible difference. Because Rogue would be like, this is for commercial use. And it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to have 1,000 people using this all day. It's going to be me. And so my chest-supported T-bar row doesn't need to be made for 50 people. And I was right. And I saved $1,000 on a lot of the pieces. So I got the only like big Rogue thing I got was the Ohio Power Bar. And I'm glad I listened to the internet comments when I bought it that were like, don't cheap on this. Don't get some bullshit bar. Get like at least for me, I got the like medium knurling because I didn't know enough about the knurling. And looking back, I'm so thankful because sometimes I'll go to like a hotel gym and they have like that aggressive, like almost trying to be a braggart about how aggressive this knurling is. And it's like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would fill that shit with packed in chalk and never remove it.
Exactly. Yeah, I do the same thing because it's not helpful. It's like it's making it so I can't lift as much if I'm also like, I'm going to tear all my calluses off.
Yeah.
So I can be hardcore. So I can be some bodybuilding.com poster who's like, oh, dude, you just don't get the purchase. The purchase you get on the bar with the knurling. It's like, shut up. If you need that much purchase, your grip strength is lacking.
Those guys, they get the knurling on the bench.
Yeah.
to grip their ass.
I moved the pad because I'm hardcore.
Are you a home gym master race guy? You got your own setup?
We got a gym in the office. We got a Rogue Echo, I think, squat rack, and we got the Rogue bars. We got a what's the step through thing you do the deadlifts in, the trap bar. Yeah, we got a good amount of stuff. It's good. I like it.
I like the trap bar a lot. Like that hexagon thing.
We have a cheap barbell and it's like lethal. Like it's not safe to use. So that's why I got the more expensive barbell.
Yeah, did you like get it off Amazon? Because there's some like Indian companies where it's like yes for all barbells. Yeah.
I don't even remember where I got this one from, but it's like that. It's like a shitbox barbell. Bad idea.
Yeah, I go through phases with lifting where like I bought all that shit and I used the hell out of it for like a year, 2 years, and then I convinced myself like, no, I'm gonna go more heavy, like weighted vest, calisthenic, tons of pull-ups, tons of dips, tons of lunges, and like not even back squats anymore, like body weight squats or split squats. And I feel like for me, at least, that works because I get bored doing the same thing for too long. And so it's either change it up entirely with like a different set of goals, or I'll just drift out of it. And it's either do that for 6 months or I'll have 6 months where I'm missing, half my lift.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. That's why my favorite thing is just pad work with boxing because it's the most interesting, like engaging thing for me that makes me feel the least like I'm engaging in toil. But lifting heavy's fun for sure for brief periods of time.
I was trying to trick myself into cardio in a way that's not like sitting on my exercise bike or my elliptical or treadmill or something. And so I bought a big weighted vest and I had like 60 pounds in it. And I'm like, I'm going to like walk quickly through like the hills of my neighborhood. And I must have got like 500 yards down the street and saw one other person in my neighborhood. And I realized how insane this looked to have a big weighted vest on, like marching through like I'm a fucking Proud Boy training. And I turned right around and I'm like, all right, this isn't
I do the
for
same
neighborhoods.
thing. No, I have no shame. I walk through the neighborhood with the ankles, the wrists, and the vest. I feel like Goku. I know someday it's going to pay off. My vertical's getting better. Like, I don't know what that's, I don't know why I need a vertical leap. I didn't ask you about this earlier, Sam. I don't know if you've ever gotten like a DEXA scan or done one of those body fat things where they submerge you, but they were able to tell that from the testosterone, my bone density went past the Caucasian levels into the Negroid range.
Oh,
You don't even know. I've got a slack skeleton. That's
Yeah.
why they don't. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. It was worth the credit score hit.
Yeah. Can't get a mortgage, but man, am I strong.
Man. He's afraid of pools now.
I'll stick right to the bottom.
You're just too dense, dude. That's so you're weighted. You wear like the lady wrist and ankle ones.
Yeah, I've got I've got heavy ones that strap to my ankles. Like that in particular, I feel like is a great workout. Because if you do 10,000 steps a day with 4 or 5 pounds on each foot, yeah.
That sounds like it'll fuck your joints up.
Well, that's what all the drugs are for.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're fixing it with all that HGH, or you never did HGH. That's why you have that.
No, but I'm
head.
down. Like I'm down for the HGH. I 100% am. It's just like I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. I don't want my organs to get big. I don't want my skull to grow, and it's just thousands of dollars a month, like I said.
Yeah. Well, I didn't thousands of dollars a month for something that seems like it's worse than just tea.
Last time I looked at it, it was going to be like $5,000 a month or something. Like I said, you go with an underground lab if you want to mix that shit yourself and shoot it in your ass. But
where does it come from? Like, did it just get tariffed? Is where my head is.
Oh,
Chinese
it wasn't
prisoners.
tax. No, this is some illegal shit. It's like research chemicals off the fucking web. You're getting some scary stuff. If you ask me, I wouldn't fuck with that. I want pharmaceutical grade. Like I said, if I'm going to shoot it into my body.
Yeah, that's fair. And like some of the tea clinics that have popped up, because there's, they're on every street corner now, just have the least efficacious names, the least trustworthy names, where it's like man up. And it's a picture of like an arrow that goes up. And it's like, no part of this seems trustworthy. I'm going to go in there in some like goober. I talked to one of my buddies. He's like, dude, I've been on tea for a while. And I was like, what's the process like? He's like, what do you mean? I walked in and I said, I wanted it. And then he gave it. Then the Indian guy gave it to me. And I went home and I injected it. And I'm like, really? So no tests at all? And he goes, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to, but he didn't ask. He just served it up.
Go to merrickhealth.com. They'll treat you right. You'll get to talk to an actual doctor.
Yes.
And they'll put you on the right plan. And it's not that expensive. You get all your blood work done, get all your panels done, make sure you're not dying. They'll fix up other shit that the T would, I had like a thyroid issue that they discovered with the blood panels that they fixed. All sorts of cool stuff. merrickhealth.com.
merrickhealth.com. That's where, you don't trust Merrick Health. You're crazy. Look at Derek. Look at Derek Stelz.
Mm-hmm.
Would he lie to you? No. That's a guy who's definitely not having pissy feminine thoughts. He's to the gills, that guy. Juiced. Or I guess he's not juiced anymore. He's just...
He's on less than me.
He's on less tea than you?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you feel weird if you take the tea and you don't lift? Or is that not a thing?
It feels fantastic.
You still get bigger, stronger, and leaner. You don't need the lift. Like they did that study where they had the regular guy lift for 6 weeks, and then they had the other guy just do tea for 6 weeks.
That regular guy, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's probably
that guy's a fucking loser, bro. Do tea.
Regular men are half women.
Hey boys, I gotta go. I'm at Dave Portnoy's spot right now. We got to do some pizza reviews.
All right,
all right, man.
You guys have sponsors, right?
We do.
Yeah.
You got them all. You nailed it.
Can you help me get sponsors?
No.
We're
I don't
bad
know.
at it, but we could have you talk to Chiz.
Yeah, we'll have you talk to Chiz. He might be able to.
We don't do it. None of us.
There's a falafel company in Palestine that's been hooking us up lately. If you want to shill for them.
Help me get sponsors, Kyle. Help me get sponsors.
Those falafels are the bomb. You're gonna love it.
No, don't fuck with me. Taylor, help me
you
get
don't
sponsors.
like being fucked with? Is that what's up, Sam? Is that what it is? You don't like it when people fuck with you?
Not
Is that what
not
we're
when
learning
my
here?
money's
You don't
on
like
the
it when they
line,
come on
Woody.
here and do fucking ad reads? You not like that?
Not when it comes to money,
also-
Woody.
We work with a.
Don't mess with my money, Woody.
I'll jot that
I'm gonna
down.
get you.
Don't fuck with you. Gotcha.
Don't mess with my money, Woody.
Okay.
We'll beat the pavement looking for
Hit me
some.
up, Taylor, text me.
Okay.
All right. Do it though. Do it.
It's also brought to you by Lock and Load. Lock and Load. You've heard us talk about it a million billion times. But guess what? Every time it gets back in stock, we sell out right away. I've got half a mind to text Derek right now and tell him clearly the orders need to be bigger. We need bigger orders for bigger loads because it's taken the world by storm. Sam Hyde had a lot of things to say about
It's in stock right now.
Oh, there we go. Guys, act fast. Act fast while it's still in stock because by fucking Saturday, it might not be. Feels like this sells out really, really quick. So use code PKA and use code Jizz. Get 10% off. But obviously, it's not just the cum pills. This is my personal favorite product on the entire site, unbiased. But the pre-workouts, the energy drinks, the weight loss supplements, the dream supplements, anything and everything you could possibly need efficaciously dosed for your pleasure by Derek and his teams of scientists is over there and available for 10% off with code PKA or code Jizz. You will like it. You will enjoy it. I just got a nice little care package from Derek. Did you guys get the blue raspberry box?
Not that I know of, but I might have.
I got a nice presentation blue raspberry box case. You open it up. There's a nice blue raz energy drink in the middle. It's got 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is great. It's not 300 milligrams.
Was it just me?
I didn't get a fucking refrigerator. But I did get all of Kyle's shipments for a while. Because they were like, they just either I got it, Woody got it, or they sent it to Kyle's old address. So whoever is now renting that place got it. But they haven't been sending care packages as much the last year or so. So I need to get on them and tell them to send us all more energy drinks. The energy drinks are fucking fantastic.
Never seen one.
The 200 milligram ones are perfect. That's exactly the amount of caffeine I want, so I don't have any amount needed the rest of the day. The Bang Energy 300 milligram, that like for me, that's panic inducing. And if I have like a cup of coffee, that's not enough. I would need two.
Just get a bottle of pills off Amazon. That's the move for caffeine.
I want the flavor. I want that tasty flavor. I want the blue
drink
raz.
something that tastes good.
Take it with a fucking Sprite Zero. And guess what? This episode is also brought to you by Sprite Zero Sugar Plus Tea. It's better than you think. Have you tried this, Kyle?
Fuck no. That looks disgusting. I tried Sprite Cranberry and was disgusted. Sprite plus tea? No, thank you. It's
pretty solid. I took a chance.
I'd rather drink water.
Ugh.
Kyle does real tea, not that bullshit.
That's actually a big deal for Kyle. To Woody and I didn't internalize the intensity of that hatred because we drink water. Kyle hates water.
I've been mixing a little mixing a little water into my diet. You know, like when I'm in the gym, I swear to God, like I would be in the gym and I'd bring my half-gallon like bottle thing. I got a bunch of those steel flask things. It was always full of unsweet tea. That's all I hydrated with for years was unsweet tea. And I get the worst for you sweetener that there is, the one that actually causes cancer.
Oh, Sweet Low?
Yeah. I get it not in the little tear open pouches. I get a tub of it. And I know exactly how many fucking spoonfuls to just throw into my fucking quart or gallon worth of sweet tea. And it's so sweet and so delicious and cold. Oh, that hydrates you. There's a little caffeine in there, probably some antioxidants. That cancels out the cancer.
Undoubtedly. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Like if I were sitting on my couch, that sounds good. Or if I'm outside, in particular,
lemon in there.
It's a sunny day, I'm outside, I would like that. But when I'm working out, I kind of want water. Like I don't really want, if I have anything, I want it to be like pre-workout or like a mid-workout drink. So then it tastes good. And I can also be like, yeah, I'm getting my fucking amino acids or something.
I don't believe in all that.
You don't believe in all that? Okay.
I don't need the pre-workout drink and the mid-workout drink. I get my protein at the end with all my collagen and amino acids and all that shit. Bunch of scoops of stuff. I don't know what it means. Just someone told me to put it in there, so I do. But yeah, unsweet tea. Unsweet tea. It's delicious. And it's got to be better for you than water. Fucking water? There's nothing in there.
That's damning. You're right. There's
you can't argue with that logic.
Water's fucking trash.
At least there's things in it.
Water's fucking trash. The only good water, if you take all the stuff out of the water, it really does taste like trash. Like if you ever drink distilled water, What is it with fish aquariums? What kind of water are you supposed to use for that, Woody? Is there a special water you purchase, or do you just run tap and then get it straight? What do you do?
You run it through a reverse osmosis filter, and then it's very purified, pure water.
Is that distillate? How does reverse osmosis work?
It's a series of very tight filters, and it removes everything that's not water.
Okay, interesting. I know distilled water, obviously, you're essentially boiling it and then condensing it back, and so you're removing all the impurities. It's how alcohol is made to some extent. So it tastes like shit. It tastes like weird on your tongue. The best water is, to me, has always been Fiji water. It's fucking $3 a bottle, but it's because it has those volcanic minerals in it. Like the minerals in the soil that leach into that water feel soft on your tongue.
I wonder if
good.
Bottle is more expensive in Fiji water. If that's part of the, it comes in a better bottle, clearly much better bottle.
It's a fancy bottle, I guess.
People reuse that bottle as a water bottle. It sounds wild.
Pores.
Yeah.
The Fiji one?
Yeah.
The plastic one? I've seen what's the glass one? You've seen those glass ones that are like cylindrical? Voss water. I could see refilling that because it's glass. Like, what could possibly go wrong there?
But like
Callaway Blue here. It came in this blue bottle. That's why I got it.
If you squeeze that, is it very weak?
Do that 15 or 20 more times.
I wanted
right into the mic.
Tempt me.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me for
the water bottles we come in. The water bottles we get in this house are so weak. It's like, was this even safe? Like, what if I dropped it? No one would reuse that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like these trash.
They look like that. They look like that.
When that's empty, you can like roll it up like a newspaper.
Yeah, we used to do that in school.
Wrapping
you
paper.
Roll it up really tight when it's empty, and then you take off the top, and it shoots. The top goes poof, really loud.
I just make bombs out of them. You throw some aluminum foil and some pipe cleaner in there, or toilet bowl cleaner. It was called Red Devil or something. That was the brand. That was a good bomb. It wake you the fuck up.
Blow your fucking fingers off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would. I never had one go off my hand, but when they go off, they're as loud as a 12 gauge. It's a boom explosion. It's a real deal explosion. It's really cool. It's just taking a 2-liter bottle or any kind of a plastic bottle, and you put some ingredients in there that create a lot of gas. It's aluminum foil and pipe cleaner, toilet bowl cleaner stuff, and it eats it up, makes this gas rapidly, and then it blows that fucking bottle up. It's really loud.
If it's possible to get a screw cap on a Coke fast enough after putting Mentos in it.
Yeah, probably.
Well, you just take the Mentos and you put them in the bottom of the cap with it. There's a way to rig it up.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that won't blow up a Coke. A bottle.
It won't blow up the bottle.
Not even close. It takes a ton of pressure to blow them up. When a 2-liter bottle, like it will distend and expand in ways that you would have never. You'd be like, it's still isn't gonna pop. It's still ain't gonna pop. It's like a balloon that keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you're like, what the fuck? That can get that big? They get really big, and when they go off, it's a colossal explosion. But Mentos doesn't make a ton of gas.
Does it have to be Coke?
No. Oh, for Mentos, I don't fucking know.
Okay.
There's no way. There's no way if you just drop it in Pepsi, nothing happens. It just has to be a.
I don't know what it's reacting to.
Mentos was never cool to me, and I think that like trend of people doing it was after I was in high school, even. So I never fucked around with those.
I liked that it was a candy that you could pretend was a mint. That's what I liked.
The Fresh Maker.
The Fresh Maker. Mm-hmm. Remember the commercials where they're all running around?
Mentos freshness, fresh and full of life. Mentos. Fresh Maker.
They're on the beach. They're having a good time. Yeah.
Or he's running through like France, trying to catch like a trolley or something because like the girl's purse is on it. It's and then he gets it and he gets the girl and he's like, ha! And he's got good breaths. It's great.
They really fell off, Mentos. Totally deleted from the cultural memory. No one talks about them. Tic Tacs.
Other than a prank. Yeah. Or Tic Tacs are kind of gone too. Lifesavers. Nobody eats Lifesavers.
No, I don't even ever think there was the guise of mints with
No,
I'm not thinking of the correct ones. I remember the wintergreen lifesavers where
it was pretty good.
if you got in a dark room and turned all the lights off and it was super dark and you like bit through it, when it cracked, there was like a little green light. The wintergreen lifesavers. It's true. I'm gonna look it up. Zach, don't ask a guided question.
It was like a grill lighter. There was some quartz in there.
There was a little bit of quartz. That's why they're not like popular anymore. They found out they were putting little bits of marble in there. Yeah, it is definitely a thing though. Hold on.
Dude, I know that Gaza.
Yes, look, it auto-filled it. Wintergreen Lifesaver Spark.
Explain it to me.
The AI overview says Wintergreen Lifesaver Spark was due to tribioluminescence, a phenomenon where light is emitted when something is broken or rubbed. When you crush the candy.
That actually is the same luminescence that you get from quartz then. And the grill lighters and stuff. You're striking a piece of quartz with a striker, and it's interesting.
There you go. Yep. Because I remember we would do that sometimes when we were little, on very boring evenings.
We would just have a girl put them in her mouth and then suck your dick. Your thing is way cooler.
That's true. That's true. You guys didn't. He didn't know what you were doing over there.
Yeah, we just that whole glow in the dark thing.
You guys were trying to
thinking.
You were getting laid, and I was like, guys, check it out. There's a spark. Biting through candy.
Speaking of getting laid, outside the Diddy trial, he has paid homeless people $20 a day to wear free puffy shirts. They're out there like fiending, like leaned over, all weird, like froze up, wearing free puffy shirts, and it's not like a conspiracy theory. They're like, dude, they offer you 20. She's like, yeah, I wasn't about to do that. You're not down with that? Hell no.
Oh, free puffy shirts. I'm picturing that this is a while ago.
They've got some puffy and it's free.
And they're shirts about Puff Daddy that they didn't charge for before he was in trouble. I'm like, why would they have to? I was lost. I'm sorry.
You were. He's currently at trial. Still not going very well. Kid Cudi showed up today, talked about the time that Diddy blew up his car.
Hey, what does that have to do with the rape?
Well, he blew up Kid Cudi's car because Kid Cudi was dating Cassie, who is part of the Freak-Offs, and his longtime girlfriend, who was 19 at the time, who he abused, and that she's sort of a central figure thus far in testimony.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a lot more charges than I thought he did. I thought
he blew
it was
up his car as revenge for dating his girlfriend?
Oh, okay. Yes. And I think he also had some people break into his home and do some other stuff, but definitely blew up the car. That's been a long time story that I even knew about. That guy's going away forever. He's going away for like R. Kelly type years. Look at that.
I mean, it looks like a nice car that he just wrecked. Maybe he shouldn't have been seeing Diddy's bitch. That would be the court defense, right? Your Honor. Your Honor, Diddy was not about to ride this.
I plead he was seeing my bitch.
He made Ciroc vodka, so he's not about that passive life. He seizes it.
The guy I was just listening to, he was like, I took some ecstasy and we were drinking Ciroc, and I was like, that's kind of cringe to be drinking your own, like, you're a billionaire like Diddy style. Maybe you got some better vodka than Ciroc it's your own party, right? Like, is your ego that big that you bring your shitty grape vodka here instead of, a nice Tito's or Absolute or a Stoli? Like, that vodka he makes is so goddamn nasty. I think it's made from grapes. I think they distill grapes into vodka.
You're right.
It's not a good move. There's a reason that vodka is usually made of corn or potatoes or something incredibly neutral like that.
Mm-hmm.
But something from the grapes carries over, and it's fucking nasty.
Grapes are delicious.
They figured out grape alcohol with wine. Like,
wine is not delicious.
I agree. I'm not a wine guy.
Well, the first
it's not even carbonated.
That's champagne.
Have you ever had brandy?
Probably.
Or wait, no. Which one is? No, not brandy. What's the one that
Cognac?
It's like stronger wine?
Oh, that may be brandy.
Is that brandy? If that is what I'm thinking of, then that's brandy, and I've had it once ever, and it was horrid, absolutely terrible. I don't know if I've ever had Ciroc, but when it's vodka, it's just kind of like they're all similar unless you get like the plastic jug kind. Because even in college, I had the wherewithal to be like, oh, this McCormick's in the giant plastic jug that's been in my friend's car, the Popov, like this is bad. There's no way this is what vodka and the other 4 shelves up at the store tastes like, because this is horrible.
I hate all vodka. I'm sorry, but one thing I do think that makes it slightly more tolerable is when it's really cold.
Has to
I think that improves.
Oh yeah,
it does. It also thickens it. It's visibly more viscous when it's cold. And if you drink enough, that viscous liquid starts to what you got there. I definitely prefer tequila if I'm going to be tasting it a little. I got into a bunch of trendy tequilas for a little while, like expensive ones and nice ones. Cenote, I think, was my favorite. Something. It's the word for like some geological pit down in Mexico. I forget. I think it's cenote. But with vodka, even in high school, I would at least show up with Absolute. Like people would have pop-off vodka, that giant gallon of plastic bottle vodka. It's like, come on, I know we're all 15 here, but I can afford a bottle of Absolute. What are you boys doing? That's disgusting. They drink it warm. I remember the beach. They were drinking it hot. They pulled it out of the trunk of a car and drink it hot in the back seat. And like offering I'm like, no. No. The fuck are you? It was
in high school. Nasty. In high school, underage drinking, I definitely had some hot Popov before, some hot McCormick's.
The worst thing I had in high school, I don't know if everyone calls it a kamikaze, but the people I knew did. And it's when you go into your parents' liquor cabinet and just get like a little bit of everything so they don't notice it missing.
Yeah.
That is the worst drink you can have.
So it's just, it's like the graveyard. Or whatever.
The graveyard. Okay. I never heard that.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, wasn't that what they called the shit where you get some of every soda at the fountain?
Oh, it's new to me.
Oh, but yeah, I never knew anyone who did the liquor cabinet trick, but I was there at like a friend's house a couple of times where we thought we were only drinking a little bit of his parents' liquor cabinet, and then like every time the next morning I'd wake up and my buddy Tyler would be like, "Oh, guys, we drank way more than I thought we did. They're gonna know." And it's like, really, is it that bad? And he's like, "Yeah, there's 3 empty bottles. They're gonna know."
I was in a nice hotel room on Machinima's dime one time, and Fwiz was there, to be fair, but the bar closed and we were all drinking, and they were like, "You have a mini bar in your room, Kyle?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I've got a mini bar in my room, but I'm not paying for that. That's just like $20 per mini bottle." And Fwiz is like, "I got you. We cleaned that fucking thing out. It was hundreds of dollars worth of mini bar liquor that Fwiz had Machinima cover for me, as they should have. It was for the boys.
Yeah. Is there ever a bigger bottle in
Never.
mini bars? It's just the airplane things.
Maybe in some fucking like Dubai situation or something that's much fancier than I've ever gone to. But even when I've had nice suites in Vegas and nice suites in LA, it was always mini bottles of liquor, and a variety of them in a mini bar. I've never been anywhere where there's a bottle sitting there. Like, what would a bottle cost at a hotel? Like, it's $800 at the club.
Right? Yeah.
It was $800 then at the club. I don't know what it costs now, but it was $800 a fucking bottle then. So, have you heard of Dubai chocolate?
No.
Does it have like green stuff in it? I feel like I saw a still.
Dubai chocolate is this incredibly trendy thing that's taken over the internet, and it's full of pistachios. It's these chocolate bars, and it's been so popular that it's affected the world supply of pistachios. And I read about a conspiracy theory that the whole idea behind the branding of Dubai chocolate and its artificial viral nature is to scrub the internet of other mentions of Dubai chocolate that would make Dubai look bad. Now, the other mentions would be the well-known situation where these Dubai billionaire types will pay OnlyFans models, Instagram thoughts to fly over, and then for X amount of money, they seem to really like to shit in their mouths. And so that is what Dubai chocolate used to be called. When it used to be that when you said Dubai chocolate, you're like, oh, She got flown over for a little Dubai chocolate, eh?
Oh.
but that was a bad look. They didn't like that, and they're very image forward. And they were like, "We got to do a whole rebrand." And somebody was like, "I got you." We create a whole product called Dubai chocolate. And you know what it is? It's chocolate from Dubai. You know what? And everybody will forget about this whole "we like to shit in white girls from the U.S.'s mouths for $1 million a turd" thing.
Forget about it. Yeah, well, I didn't know that they were like scat guys over there. I didn't know they were scat man.
There's scat guys everywhere. Scat guys everywhere.
Yeah.
Dubai chocolate is a $15 candy bar on Amazon.
Oh yeah, they're not seldom cheap. That's probably not even good Dubai chocolate. Probably got nuts in it, corn.
I don't understand. So what?
I don't know.
What is the green stuff?
Pistachios.
That's it?
It's probably some sort of ground pistachios, maybe sweetened with something. I don't know. I don't eat chocolate bars.
Yeah, I don't either really. But I mean, I'd probably like that then because pistachios rule and chocolate's great.
Hey, help yourself to a little Dubai chocolate. Let's click
I
buy.
don't trust those guys. They're probably putting little bits of poop in it.
Oh, they wouldn't do that. They want to keep their good name. You know, they only do the pooping behind closed doors, just like Sylvester Stallone.
Man, can you imagine all the things you've done already when you get to the point of being like, I need something that excites me. I'm going to poop in their mouth. Like that's not like a fetish for that guy directly. That has to just be, he's done everything with his oil money. Everything.
That's not a gateway fetish. That's an end game fetish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is.
Diddy seemed to be into piss. Like there's a lot of talk of piss. By the way, they keep showing these photos of Cassie. She's incredibly beautiful. Like she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Like I didn't even know she existed because I'm not into that kind of music and wouldn't know her to look at her until this whole trial thing. But Jesus Christ, that's a beautiful woman. You're talking about having so much oral sex that she had sores in her mouth, and not from STDs, like friction burn in her mouth from sucking dick. It's the testimony in this thing is wild. All the details and stuff, all the stuff that's coming out. It's all the lube and sex toys and the baby oil, of course, and just multiple locations and just drugs everywhere, and not like weed or coke or like a drug that we would want to do hypothetically. It'll be like, there was a flask inside a Gucci bag in the back of a closet. It tested positive for liquid MDMA and meth. It's what a fucking tonic that he's got in this little flask back there. It's been nasty from day one, and it still is. And they're just getting started. There's going to be, I can't wait till we get some other celebrities implicated in this. I really hope J-Lo goes down. I really want J-Lo to go down.
J-Lo?
Yeah, fuck her. She sucks.
Jenny from the Block? Not a fan, huh?
Every time I see Ben Affleck putting up with that bitch, I feel bad for him. I'm like, ugh, get out
Poor
of there.
Ben. Are they together?
I don't know if they are anymore. I just remember that photo of him. Oh, he opens the car door for her and then lets her in, and just the look on his face is like, fucking not worth it. Not worth it.
He does often look bummed out.
I saw a post about J-Lo the other day, and they were like, this is what a dump truck was in the early 2000s. And they showed J-Lo's butt. And it's like, yeah, wait a minute. She doesn't have a big butt. Like, she really didn't. I was shocked, like, because girls now, like, it seems like everybody's got a fucking dump truck. It's like a gigantic, meaty ass bigger than your fucking head. And that's not what J-Lo has or had.
Well, I mean, if people were thinner back then, maybe it was just relative ass size.
No, she not her though. She was always pretty. She never got into that super skinny thing that looked unhealthy, like a Angelina Jolie or
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton, or more Nicole Richie, Paris's friend. She was like dangerously skinny.
Mm-hmm. She disappeared from the public eye after the Real World or whatever that show was.
The Simple Life or something like that. They just did a new season of that, actually. She's back in the public eye doing another season with Paris of that show. It's fun to see them back together, and she doesn't look as sickly now.
Good for her.
I know you've been following closely, but the big, beautiful bill passed this week, at least through the first house of our wonderful Congress. Hey, we got like an advantage in the Senate too. We'll see if it makes it through that unscathed. I'm sure it'll be altered in some ways. it seemed like the core of the bill was taking some people's Medicaid away and taking money away from poor people and giving it to rich people. But then at the bottom, and I literally mean at the bottom of the graph I saw, it was remove tax stamp from suppressors. And I was like, oh, how'd we get that in there? And I'm almost on board now.
There is one part of it where they can no longer hold presidents in contempt of court. And I was
it wasn't exactly that, but it was like when they're held in court, there's no way to enforce any will upon them. It was essentially making him immune to some of his current legal hurdles with his immigration stuff.
And they slipped it into the tax bill, and it felt dirty. It is dirty.
That to me is just politics. Now, the nature of the amendment itself, I get, feels dirty, but just the nature of slipping it in is just fucking Washington politics.
It's certainly not something new. Like, it's not a new technique, but the idea of your president being above the law is I don't like it. And to the listener, if you do like it, you may not like it when there's a Democrat involved.
He'll never let that happen again.
Yeah, this is not going to be the world's last president of America. There will be a Democrat again someday, and he'll be immune from the law. And you might think, that was stupid.
I see he also did something with Harvard today. I believe he wants the names of all of their foreign students, and he won't allow them to accept anymore. Or maybe he's sending some of the foreign students back where they came from. Just a crazy situation.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's taking on Harvard, because I don't know that there's another school better equipped to hit back, right? Like Harvard has the largest endowment fund. They have the
billions.
They're basically no budget on their own attorneys, and their name isn't fragile. It's not like Trump can just ruin Harvard's name. Like, I hear it and I'm like, what, Harvard reject Trump? Is that why he went to UPenn? Is that what we got going on here? Now he's after revenge? Maybe I made that up, but it could be true. But yeah, so Harvard's pushing back. It's kind of a free speech issue. Trump doesn't think that non-citizens should have free speech, I would argue. And we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, he barred them from enrolling foreign students.
They say that's a privilege, and they remove that privilege from Harvard. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a new one to me. Although I will say, I don't like when I see all the Chinese people who come here and get their education and go back home and use it. I don't like that. And maybe if they got their education at some sort of business, but they're going to Harvard, this place with this multi-billion-dollar a year endowment, who don't need the money. Frankly, they should be dropping their tuition like to zero. Why do they charge for tuition there at that place with this multi-billion-dollar endowment, and presumably a student base that is the best of the best of the best, or their uncle was at least? Like, the fuck's going on? I don't know. Fair is fair to me, and I don't like it. I don't like most of that stuff. I looked at the whole bill. I was like, don't like that, don't like that. Ooh, this is awful. Why are they all agreeing? And then I got to the bottom, and I saw that suppressor thing. And then I was on board.
On the Harvard thing and foreign students, I'm like, someone try to convince me one way or the other. I need more facts. On one hand, like you said, I have that same thought. Like, why are we educating these people to more or less compete with us? And then they go back and they become the leaders of their whatever. Or maybe we're exporting our culture and we're making people who are sympathetic to Americans. And it's a net positive to have thought leaders who went to school.
Osama bin Laden went to school here.
You're proving my point, right? This is a guy who took great interest in America.
Yeah. It's true. He was laser focused on America there for a while. I don't know. I just don't like that, especially when it's China. I watched that really good video on YouTube today. They interviewed an American YouTuber who speaks Russian, went to Russia and did this interview with a Russian drone maker, and it was shockingly unbiased. He said, in his opinion, this is the guy who runs the company. He thought that the Ukrainians were the number one nation in the world in drone tech, and that he thought that Russia was number two. And he talked about the Western junk that got sent, the Switchblade drones that the Americans sent. The Switchblade drone looks like a tube with little fold-out wings. He said those were shit. He named all the reasons for it. And then he talked about another drone that we sent, and he was like, those are okay, but they cost half as much as a tank. And then he starts looking at some of the Russian shit. He's like, we use wooden propellers. A carbon fiber propeller is 5% more efficient and 10 times the cost. And it's hard to get carbon fiber in Russia, and we got plenty of wood. And they were talking about the fiber optic drones, how those work. Those don't replace the radio controlled drones necessarily. They're moreover sent in to destroy the jamming tech that the enemy has in the area. And then once that's gone, they can bring drones that are able to carry a heavier payload, because the fiber optic cable itself takes up so much weight, apparently.
Right.
And then they talked about what you were concerned with like following the cord back to them. And he was like, yeah, we just put the cord in a power drill and hit go. And it just reels most of it back in. And if it breaks off somewhere, of course, but we get most of it. The Ukrainians have this new tech where they're trying to like send a laser beam through the fiber optic cable of the enemy, and the whole thing lights up like a path at night back toward the enemy. That was interesting to me. But it was kind of worrying when he talked about for one thing, that he's like, the sanctions don't work. He's like, we have private companies here. There are private companies in China. We have an enormous border with China. We can't obviously use Russian debit cards to pay them. We'll figure it out. He's like, anything we want, we get from China. And they know that we're getting it, and they're fine with it. All of the internals of their stuff, their chips, their boards, their servos and shit, their motors are Chinese. It was wild to see. He thought that was definitely the future of warfare. And he talked about the numbers of drones they were able to crank out. He's like, we just built 2 new factories that do nothing but make drones, maybe 40,000 a week. It was something crazy.
That's such a big number.
It was crazy. And who knows about that part? And numbers are one of those things. It's like, if you tell me you make 40,000, maybe you make 40, but maybe you make 10. I don't know about that. But his stuff about the specifications, the capabilities and stuff, and where the future of the tech was fascinating. And I worry that we're falling behind.
I wonder. It seems to me that a lot of low-cost swarm drones would be super effective, like the drone equivalent of a cluster bomb.
But it depends what they're going up against, right? Like against one of our naval ships that have those, I think they call AWACS or something, that autonomous minigun, that thing will clear the fucking sky. But against those guys in trenches, it's the number one killer of people right now. It was artillery. There was a time when 70% of the injuries and casualties were created by artillery, and now it's drones. Drones have taken that place.
Yeah, I would imagine standing next to an artillery gun is very dangerous. The drone's going to come for you right now.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Maybe not. It seems like they're harassing the guys who are in trenches, and definitely the vehicles. They do this thing with the drone now. So a big power drain on the drone is relaying the video signal back to the controller. Even if it's sitting still on the ground, it's burning 5 or 10 watts per.
Okay.
It's drawing 5 to 10 watts continuously, I think he said, just to send the signal back. So what they'll do, especially with the fiber optic drone that doesn't have that issue, because it's relaying the signal through the wire, they'll now just sit still on a rooftop. They'll land it on a rooftop and wait, watching the video feed until somebody comes by, and then they'll hit that vehicle, or they'll land them on the sides of roads, and it'll just be sitting there on the edge of the road with camouflage on it. They showed one with like leaves and like twigs all over it. And then when they see a truck coming, they just go get it. And there's no way to stop that or prevent that or slow it down. He talked about the backpack jammers. He's like, that doesn't work. That just shows us where you are. You might knock one drone down. We'll send another that's on a different frequency and kill you. It sounded so fucking scary.
Yeah. And like one upside of America participating in this war in some way is keeping their sort of finger on the pulse of what works and what doesn't work and what's coming next.
He said something interesting about America versus everyone else. He said that the only way Russia learns to get better at a thing or the faults in their processes is going to actual war. And like every week we get better at a thing, we find a thing that isn't working. But the Americans have been running war games against NATO for decades and decades and decades. He's like, several years ago, you ran a war game where the Americans took the role of the Russians and they fought NATO. You destroyed NATO. You crushed them, especially the Italians. He's like, the first day the Italians got caught making coffee, the Americans saw the fire and killed them all. In the war game style, killed them all.
Right.
So that was fascinating. I found him to be so unbiased, and he talked about how, and he's a private company, and he talked about the way a private company can quickly like change the way they're doing things and latch onto a new tech or a new way of doing things and evolve very rapidly, whereas a state-funded military industrial complex type situation, like half the people there are just collecting paychecks. They're not working. They're not doing anything. And they'll test and they'll delay and there'll be overruns and then they'll test it in the field for 2 or 3 years. Like every week here, we have a new drone, a new thing, a new way to do it. He's like over there, and there's like he's got a top secret drone covered in plastic. He's like, that's the new thing right there. We're testing that this week. And it's interesting to see how a small company like that in Russia, which is a place where I wouldn't think that would be kosher, is on that innovative path with drone technology. And this guy seems so smart. It was worrying. I was like, we need to kidnap that motherfucker. We need this guy. He's like the fucking. He reminded me a lot of, who's the guy who runs Tarkov?
Oh, Dmitry.
They only got 3 surnames over there, or not surnames.
Right. Who would you curse? And you
Nikolai?
Yeah, Nikita.
Nikita.
Yeah, he's like their Nikita. That guy was really
that was
good video.
That was an alley oop.
Yeah.
I just guessed a Russian name. That was cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know.
He talked about how they felt about the foreign nations, the fighters, when they killed them. Oh, the interesting thing, he really talked up Starlink. He's like, the one thing they have, the most powerful thing on the battlefield is Starlink. Starlink keeps the Ukrainian drone fleet in the Black Sea. There's nothing we can do about it. Starlink allows them to operate drones from Kiev on the battlefield with minimal lag. He's like, we have a similar system, but it involves radio piggybacking, and they even have this one system. He's like, drone operators are expensive to train, and most of them are gamers. They're not soldiers. Yeah. They can't carry heavy. You put body armor on them, it doesn't work. You can't send them out in the field. So what they do is they got these nerds in a high rise in Moscow, and they send 2 big dudes to the war, and they bring the drone and this piggyback receiver transceiver with them. They sit this whole, he's like, it's very simple. We color code everything. We labeled red wire in red hole, and these 2 dummies go out there, put it on the ground, turn it on, and leave. And my guy back in Moscow, who was just flying a different drone, gets a message, and he can hop onto controlling that drone that's in Donbass, go send it in, kill a thing, and he's ready to hop on a different drone immediately. He doesn't fly the drone to and fro.
They're going to find themselves completely unprepared for the American cat boys.
I mean, we've got some pretty good gamers here.
We do.
That's true. We had maybe the best. Actually, I was going to say the best gamers per capita. Maybe Korea, best gamers.
I don't know. I was going to say, it seems like we lose to Europe a lot, right?
This is FPV though, right? This is a different kind of game.
Different.
I don't care if they're good at League of Legends or even CS:GO. I want to see somebody who can pilot a thing. This is, if you're flying a drone, there's some piloting skill, I think, involved.
I watched the Ukrainian drone operators, and so this was pretty neat. The guy's name might have been Preston Stewart, but I have these 2 brown-haired ex-military dudes mixed up. They look the same to me. Anyway, this one went to Ukraine, and he vlogged his experience of going to the Ukrainian front lines with the drone operators. And, he was, as an American soldier, he was used to traveling with a certain amount of armor and stuff. They're in like Tacomas, just completely driving with the lights off. Is not safe in the slightest as they're going to where the drones are operated, because at least at this time, you couldn't be so far from the drones themselves. You had to go to a tricky spot.
Yep.
And
still do mostly.
Okay. So he's going there, super dangerous, and they like found out that there are enemy drones in the sky doing surveillance. So they just parked there and waited before entering the war zone in the open, which was not his bag at all. That's not how Americans operate, but that's what they did. And then they eventually go there, and now he's just hanging out in this, I'll call it a bunker, but I guess it was somebody's basement. And they're just there operating drones. There is nothing pleasant about this. They're obviously all very cold. They're all chain smoking cigarettes, and they all don't give a fuck. They don't seem to have any value for their own life, for what's going. They're just like, this is what I do, and is the word nihilistic, like, but to such an extreme that they don't have any joy or care or whatever. They just kill Russians. That's what
I see them like burning vapes big time, like just continuously sucking nicotine while they got the goggles on, killing people. Like,
these were actual cigarettes in this particular video, but they were also in a basement where maybe like infrareds wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And it was pretty neat just to see their attitudes. They were grateful to the Americans who helped them with supplies and stuff. And they were respectful of this guy who had been through it. He had done a couple tours in the American Army, and they were just considered themselves sort of comrades, even though it wasn't the same war. But yeah, the one takeaway I took, I didn't get like military systems like you. As a matter of fact, he worked extra hard not to tell anything about the weapon systems and keep all that stuff a secret. It was about what it was like to be a soldier and how unpleasant it was, and how, how many people they knew that died, even as drone operators. The real danger they seemed to face was getting to and from the place to operate drones, which they did every day. I don't know why they couldn't live in the basement, like if but they didn't. And yeah, these guys just sort of, to say they gave up on their own life might be a little extra, but not.
They were prepared to die.
Yeah. Yeah. And prepared to die, but almost nonchalantly prepared to die. Like, yeah.
What are you going to do? You can only be on high alert for so long.
Right.
You can only be at like a 10 for so long. And then you're like, so anyway, like the bomb goes off. Like, I get it. It makes sense.
And then they need to reintegrate into civilization again at some point. And I bet Ukraine's going to they're going to have a generation of people who have some level of PTSD.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The Russians are creating both sides are creating this huge generation of people that are like that. It's and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. They keep talking about ceasefire, and I don't see any progress on that.
And there's going to be a gender imbalance, right? Like, societies are best when there's an equal.
There already is.
Women.
Look at they're in Poland. You want to find a Ukrainian woman? Go to Poland.
They're
those partying women, in Poland. That's where they are.
You think those women are going to come back now that they're living in a nicer country? Probably not. Probably not.
I mean, I wouldn't leave though, because man, Taylor, not one of those weak women, those weak-willed women.
No, I'd dress as a lady and I'd be in Poland.
Polak. You'd be sucking Polak cock.
I'd be the ugliest Ukrainian woman in all of Poland.
Still,
actually, that's how I would get out of having to suck cock.
Yeah, they'd be like, not bad compared to Polish woman.
All that belly hair.
Taylor is girl name.
It's true. So we're already kind of halfway there. And I've been told he watch sports, so he's already gay. So
be like, boys, check out this happy trail. Now this is a woman.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's pretty aggressive on the chest. So a lot of nipple hair.
It's okay. Small boobs, hairy belly.
A lot of nipple hair on this gal.
The drone guy said that he's like, if it's an American, we always take them we always take them prisoner. If it's a Ukrainian, we almost always take them prisoner too. Even though we're at this war, we see them as almost like brothers who are misguided and have lost their way. That was his viewpoint on it. He's like, but Germans, no, we don't take German prisoners. And he was like, there was a time for the last 50 years, our education told us when we fought Germany in World War II, it was the Nazis that we were fighting, not the Germans. And those were two very different things. He's like, 50 years of goodwill wiped out as soon as the Leopard tank showed up. He's like, now none of them get taken prisoner. He's like, and he named other like groups, anyone from a foreign country. He's like, why are you here in our business? We're not taking them prisoner either. But he also said something really interesting. There was a private company making drones for the Russian government, and they came up with this drone called the Pig Ripper or something like that. They're like, yeah, it's called the Pig Ripper. And they're like, no, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. Rename it the HB3 or some shit. We're not going to put a weapon on our battlefield against the Ukrainians called the Pig Ripper. It looks bad.
This is bad optics, like that. Guys.
Yeah.
Make it the H-2504.
Yeah.
Combat drone. That's true.
His point of view on it was so telling, and it was really interesting. I don't think that war's stopping anytime soon. Both sides are mad. I do like that mineral deal that Trump signed. And hey, look, we kind of shit on
Ukraine.
Look, that whole bill, the big beautiful bill, that's horse shit. It's plain horse shit. His crypto scam, horse shit. But seems like he came up with a very lucrative tariff situation with the UK, if that's gone through. And it seems like he came out of the Middle East with about $1.5 trillion in arms sales, like he and plane sales. He did like hundreds of. It was an enormous amount of arms that he sold.
His numbers at all.
They're public. Those are real numbers though. Like
okay.
When he says it, throw it out the window. He said Biden had stage 9 cancer. I know what he means, but he missed his number. You know.
Mm-hmm. He said that Qatar. I think it's Qatar. I don't know.
Pick one. We won't laugh. You can't say Chipotle.
Time into it. Yeah, right. No, I say it better than everyone else.
You think they have Chipotles in Qatar?
He said that they gave him 5.1 trillion. Right?
Something
Their
crazy.
GDP is less than 1 trillion, right? But they're
over a number of years, maybe, perhaps. You know what he also got? He got.
Don't brainwash it. It's just a lie.
You know, he's got a $5.5 billion golf course that they've built over there, and another like $1.5 billion one in maybe Scotland or something like that.
I heard that he got deals and towers and such, but I had no specifics.
Yeah, so I think the one
for the golf course.
At the $5.5 billion one is
seems like that. What is that? Like going to be like a 96 hole course?
So it's an 18 hole and a 9 hole. I think, and then there's like tons of facilities. And I believe I read that their 9 hole par 3 was like the best one in the world. I don't know shit about golf, but I know what those numbers mean. $5.5 billion golf course. My understanding is that they own everything, but it's a Trump licensed property. So he's getting some ungodly like royalty fees or trademark fees or what have you for it being a Trump property there. And then another one in Scotland that's like $1.5 billion.
It's got to be cheaper in Scotland because Scotland has lots of grass. Like it grows on its own. It's got a good environment for grass. You build a giant golf course in Qatar, like just keeping grass there.
You don't think they can afford water in Qatar?
Well, I bet they can, but the grass is going to
helicopters.
They don't force the grass to grow at gunpoint because it doesn't want to there.
That's the only argument for EVs that I even want to hear is that we'll turn those fucking people's money faucet off one day. One day it'll all run out, and I'm looking forward to that day. I hate those people so much, Taylor.
Wait, who do we hate? I'm lost. EVs?
Just the whole Middle East, really. I mostly not a big fan of Saudi Arabia. Not a big fan of them. You know, like
I like
how many there was like 15 hijackers, maybe 16. 9 of them, I think, came from Saudi Arabia. If it's not like that, it's even worse.
Out of 19.
It was like 15 out of 19. Yeah, thank you. You're almost spot on. Almost certainly spot on. And it was funded by a Saudi Arabian. Osama bin Laden's from Saudi Arabia. The Pakistanis were fucking hiding him, and yet we make wars with the other countries. It never made any sense to me to be mad at. Look, Iran's a bunch of cocksuckers. They fund terrorism across the globe. Not a big fan of Saddam Hussein and his ilk. But Jesus Christ, they were like 5th on the list and 6th. We should have started with Saudi Arabia, and we should have taken
all the oil.
Should taken all the or fucking nuke their oil fields so they could irradiate all the Saudi oil. You want to talk about upturning that goddamn cartel they have? Nuke their oil and make
The
it
thing about-
radioactive so it can't be pumped out of the ground.
The thing
We
about
don't get
taking all their oil is
Makes ours more
apparently
valuable.
it's really, really hard to occupy somebody else's country.
Mm.
You know, whether it be Afghanistan, America's effort or Russian effort, Vietnam, Iraq, Syria more recently. Like, it just seems like you can't occupy someone else's country, even if you're
Don't
the
do it.
greatest government in the, or I'm sorry, military in the world.
I would not
Yeah.
try to occupy it. You just need to
Well,
send,
if you want to take
wants to
their
go
oil,
clean.
I don't want to take their oil. I want to destroy. I want to ruin their oil. I want to
Okay,
irradiate
yeah.
their oil so it can't be pumped or used. I want to destroy them. They should have paid such a. I swear to God, if our president's not even hyperbole, I would have glassed Saudi Arabia. I would have killed them all. I'd have killed millions of people over there. I'd have killed millions of them. I'd have nuked their capital and made sure I got every. We'd have been hunting down that royal family like it was Game of Thrones and they were the last Starks. All right, we'd have gotten every one of them, the cousins, the uncles, the aunties, all of them. And I don't care about Syria.
honestly, it's a little bit inspiring to hear this. I'm still mad about 9/11.
The Chinese and the Russians would have seen what we did to the Saudis, our half-ass ally, and they'd have never stepped out of line again. I would have made an example that would last 1,000 years. There would be so much. It's a sand-filled desert. I'd have made it so shiny that you could see it from space with the naked eye. It'd be that big green. It'd look like the bottom of a Coke bottle where they used to
Ooh.
live. Fuck those people. Those people
Aren't we their number one customer?
Probably.
Yeah.
That would, then we'd have to
Pump
pivot.
more oil? No,
They
we
have
just
to
pump
pump
more
more.
oil and we actually build the Keystone Pipeline. We've got plenty. We have most of it here. I
We
know
didn't
that
have
it's not
fracking
the
tech at the
sweet
time, but-
crude. But
Sweet.
it's not that good old fat. It's not that good sweet crude. I know that.
Just
But I
with
don't
all
give a fuck.
Venezuela's.
We just
Venezuela
would-
has the most resources of oil in the whole world.
I would have
We just
pivoted
pilfer all
to
that.
fucking bicycle paths if that's what it took. I don't care what it does to anybody or anything. There would have been a reckoning. I don't like that cocksucker in Syria is an Al Qaeda head chopper from Iraq, and Trump's posing for photos with him. And on the other side of Trump is the fucking crowned prince of Saudi Arabia or Qatar, or whoever the fuck he is, with that goofy sheet on his head. That's the guy that had that Khashoggi guy.
Is his name
Dissect-
MBS or something?
He had that guy vivisected. He had that guy vivisected in a hotel room and dissolved in acid and recorded it. And we got all the tapes and we know all about it. And we didn't do shit. Fuck those.
Vivisected and dissolved in acid.
Yes. They
Which
had him
one
cut
would you
apart
want to
alive.
happen first? To you?
I mean, man.
Those are both rough.
The acid was to dispose of him, I think, but the vivisection was to like cut him apart slowly with saws and alive.
They
I
did
don't know
that
how long it
alive?
takes to die. in
Yes,
acid.
they cut him apart with saws alive.
Oh, I might have made this up, but I thought that the saws were to just help, also part of the disposal.
That's how they killed him.
That is part of, like, that's what the Sopranos would have taught me, is that you one in the back of the head, and then it takes fucking forever, so you got to chop it up,
Damn.
kind of like you want your onions diced more finely so they brown faster.
You got to pull the teeth and shave the hair, that for the sake of the piggy's digestion, because you don't want to go sieving through pig shit. Now, do you, boyo?
I bet it takes way longer to die in
He hasn't
acid.
seen the movie.
I've seen them.
What movie?
It's that gangster movie. It's the Godfather.
Touché.
It's the Godfather
Busted.
1. No, it didn't happen in Godfather 1. I've seen Godfather 1. Oh, and now he's
Kyle quit the show.
he quit.
He couldn't take
Is that
one
him?
more second.
One more second of
Taylor
me
to watch.
not knowing a
movies.
fucking movie. Joke's on you, Kyle. Now I get to force the audience to listen to hockey talk.
Right now, the two of us are just gonna talk about our old
We
school
don't have
hockey
fucking
talk.
sports. Yeah. No, we don't have to subject. I can already feel people skipping ahead past hockey stuff. Damn, I wish they cared. I wish the audience cared at all about the NHL. They couldn't care less. Every time I even bring it up, I'm always like in my head apologetic. Where I'm like, and this team's winning in 5 games. I'm so sorry. And this other team, this guy's Ovechkin's going to break the goal record. It's a really big deal. Sorry, everyone. Like just trying not to be a burden.
But I like the hockey stories that are interesting regardless of hockey. Like,
Yeah.
this guy kicked and he's probably attempting to kick him in his chest, and he got him in the neck, and he murdered him, and then the world kind of supported him because crazy things happen in sports, but they don't have the eye of a hockey player who knows that is kind of an intentional thing. Oh, yeah. I personally, repeat story, there was this one time I was on the ground, I was playing, I kicked at a guy's skates with the bottom of mine. If you don't know hockey, that is a really, really
it's a faux pas.
That's a faux pas, yeah. And I was instantly embarrassed that I did it, but I did do it, and it's given me a certain kind of sympathy for other people who make bad split decisions.
This guy had a history of it. They posted additional video of him doing kicking. This is what happens when you leave, Kyle. I get to sneak some hot. Yeah.
Oh man, we've never covered this exact story before 3 times.
You're right.
Tell me more.
You're not wrong.
We watched the video. God damn.
We did, and he should have been arrested.
We shouldn't have been kicking that high. Everyone knows when you're playing, you don't kick that high.
Hey, now Fat Albert's going to weigh in.
I really thought it was Grover from Sesame Street.
That was Taylor. That's what Taylor sounds like to my ears.
I would hate
that. Hey, it's hockey talk time.
Hey, Fat Albert, you want to go have some fun? No. I lost my legs to diabetes.
That is, maybe I'm just remembering what Fat Albert sounded like in that Family Guy clip.
That's my only reference is that Family Guy clip. I've never seen Fat Albert.
Yeah, I don't know who the characters are, but there must be a guy who like wears a beanie.
There's that one guy with the beak pulled down like a ski mask, like
Mushmouth. I think
that sounds right.
Name.
Wouldn't know.
I mean, that show didn't
not really my bag.
He didn't.
I watched all the black sitcoms, none of the black cartoons. I don't know where you can get those black cartoons. What channel was that on?
You were forced to watch them on Saturday mornings back in the
animation?
70s.
See, you were around through Duck and Cover. You acted like you weren't on PKA.
I literally have never done that. And I think that was the 50s.
Yeah, you remember?
I do remember this. Like I forget who was the president. Maybe he was the 40th president. Maybe it was Reagan or something. And I was like, wait a minute, my mom's 40.
Oh,
so when she was 16... Mom, what was Abe Lincoln like as a president? And sort of the 4 years,
yeah. What was Abe Lincoln like? Off by a little bit. She was probably flattered. She knew that much about history, really.
I see adults fucking up easier math on Twitter constantly. There was that one lady today who was like, Elon Musk has whatever it is, like $300 billion, and there's only 5 billion people on the planet. He could give each of us $6 million. Why doesn't he just do it? It's like, man, you're missing some zeros.
Yeah.
Missed some zeros there.
That does go big on Twitter maybe once a year, where someone does some back of the napkin math on exactly that. Well, like if we took all the billionaires and gave each of us $20 million, we could all be millionaires. It's like
or the little math problem with it. They were like, well, if something goes down by 10% and then up by 10%, it doesn't get back to where it was before. And like, idiot.
I saw that on Reddit just recently. Like eggs went up 200%, then they dropped 98%. So they're like back where they were, right? I'm like, no.
You don't know how percentages work. Oh, fractions are even harder. Look, there are adults right now who don't know how to do fractions. They stopped teaching fractions, Taylor. Did you know this?
That's shocking.
You meet a 15-year-old, they can't do fractions. And I don't mean I was about to say the hard ones. There are no hard ones. There are no hard fractions. That's the whole thing. They can't do fractions. They can't read or write either. Like reading, writing, and arithmetic has gone right out the window because we got to do identity politics and DEI.
Teachers are blowing it.
The idea that they allow cell phones in school, because look, when I was in school in 2004, we had phones for emergencies, and it was like, this is for like flat tire type shit.
Because it cost $1 a minute to talk on the phone.
Yeah. We had a plan, of some kind. Like that was never a concern. But it was like, if you get sick at school, that's what this phone is for. If like I can't make it to pick up my sister, that's what this phone is for. It wasn't for. You didn't have it out because it didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'd let people see it because I had a cool phone, even for 2004 or 2003. But still, like the idea of being at school with a phone and learning doesn't compute to me. There's no way if I had my phone with me at school, I could learn shit. As a kid,
It had Snake on it.
It has
Snake? Yeah.
I never played Snake. I don't think I had any. I had the games, but I didn't. I had a Sony Ericsson.
Yeah,
that was like one? Silver. No, mine was silver, and it was round on. It was like an oval round on top, but square on the bottom. That was my first phone when I was 2003, 2002, something like that.
I had a Sony Ericsson in like 2005 or 6, like before the iPhone came out. And a big selling point was like, oh, it has an internet browser, but not like a good one, like a proprietary Sony Ericsson browser that doesn't work ever. And so like every once in a while I would try to look something up online. I don't think it worked ever, and gave me an answer. And so it just became just a calling device. And it did have Snake on it, but Snake was one of those games where it was like, yeah, I got a game on my phone. And then you play it for 40 seconds and you're like, I guess I can just look at the walls and like, I can read stuff on the posters here. The way our school handled it was, if you had your phone out at all during class, a teacher would take it and give it to like a school administrator, and you had to get it at the end of the day. And so I just never had my phone out during high school if it was during class. The cool kids who were more devil may care, they would often get their phones taken and throw a little bit of a tantrum. But even then, like late high school, like do you remember how bad the iPhone's internet browser was initially? How terrible it was? Like, do you remember if you held the iPhone the wrong way, your call dropped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You I never touch the antennas together with your thumb.
Yeah.
The only iPhone I ever owned was the 3G. I've never had a real iPhone. I mean, I've touched them and fucked with them. I always hated it. I've had Android forever. Before that, I had like a 4G Sony Ericsson back in the day. It was the first video phone I remember it was like $350 in 2005, which was probably, I guess, right on par for what phones cost now. It was a lot to me. I was a kid, but it was the first video phone that I knew of, and it was like, holy shit, I can record. I don't know, my dog and like I guess that tree over there. Like, you know what I mean? It was shitty videos anyway, but that was cool to me. But I never had an iPhone that was worth a fuck. Maybe. Yeah, I've had some nice Androids. I remember I bought like the flagship Android one year, and the feds took it like 3 months later.
when phones were new, that really indestructible Nokia that's an internet meme now. I might have had that at the time.
Sure.
And I worked with this woman, and she was like, I want my phone to be a phone, texting, an internet browser, a GPS, and a music device, and a camera all in one. And I'm like, yeah, I'll settle for a flying horse. Like get the fuck out of here with your dreams. And now that's the basics.
Yeah, if you don't have that, you have a shitty phone.
It's incredible. It's incredible the amount of power and versatility and all the things that a cell phone can do. That little block of that Black Mirror. Oh, speaking of which, Black Mirror's back on Netflix. I don't know if you picked up any of that or watched any of it.
I didn't. The reviews say it's the worst Black Mirror ever.
I've only watched one episode, and it was just okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't like it. I even tried to show her like some of the better ones, and she just wasn't impressed with the guy that had to fuck a pig to save a country or something.
That's a dark one.
Yeah, I started with the wrong one. I don't know a better one.
Does she like Love, Death, Robots?
No, she likes comedies and happy shows.
She watched Star Trek, right?
Yeah, she loves Star Trek.
Man, I'd vibe with her on Star Trek.
You would.
Like, oh man,
she would
I'm so into
rival your knowledge of it as well.
Possible. Which one does she watch?
All of them.
Like she watches the OG stuff, like the Spock and Kirk.
I don't know if she watches the '60s stuff, although I'm sure
she watched the Black Captain, DS9.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's the kind of thing she'll have on the projector when she's doing other things around the house.
Yeah, same. I've gotten pretty good with. I would be down for some Star Trek trivia night somewhere. If I can find a bar that does that, I clean up. I think I'm a brown belt in Star Trek trivia at this point. I would definitely say I have a wide base.
You should do it. Find a bar night trivia on Star Trek.
I watch Lord X, and Lord X is the animated one, and it's just full of reference after reference. I never miss a reference. It's so
that you know of.
I get that. I can tell when someone's making a reference. So I think I would hunt it down. My main areas of expertise are definitely TNG and DS9. I love that stuff.
I watch what's the animated one?
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks. I'm hearing Lord X. I'm sorry. Yeah, and Lower Decks, and I get the references too. It's fun.
Yeah.
These are the ones that I think I'm getting them.
I think that show got canceled, unfortunately. I think that's the final season. So no
thought
more
it
of that.
fell off a little. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad they made it.
When I like something that much, I want bad episodes of it too. I don't feel like you can ruin the mystique of it by making like another season of Sopranos. Would have been disgusting. Tony's dead, or what? Like it was something like that. Don't give me that. You peaked. But with Lower Decks,
what if the next season opened up and it went black because he had sneezed, and and now back to business?
I've always said
it was a fucking terrible sneeze.
My rewrite, my Sopranos 2-hour movie that would have followed it would have been Tony getting shot at that thing, but we find out that he set himself up to be shot, and it's a fake death. He's faking his death, going to Russia, and he was always sending money to Russia. Like there was multiple episodes where he's like, I got to go send the money to the Russians. Like he was clearly building this bankroll overseas that couldn't be touched by the feds for Carmela and everyone. It's like, have him be in Russia, but they don't want to give him his money. Like, let me see that. Then we mix Furio back into it, all that stuff. I'd have been down for that. But instead, they made that awful movie a couple years ago, Saints of Newark. And it was impossible. We turned it off. I watched it with the boys in Colorado, and a lot of us were Sopranos fans, and we were like an hour and a half in. I was like, anybody else want to watch this? Nobody did. It was bad. Shit.
Do you think that's a show they'll ever reboot? Just
no.
The baseline
that one doesn't make sense to reboot. And James Gandolfini he's the secret ingredient that made that show. I think his performance is just so well rounded, and and for its time, it was so. He was the bad guy. It was 1999, and you had the star of your show was a fucking murderer, a cold-blooded murderer. They told David Chase that he was ruining his own show, shooting himself in the foot when they did the college episode where he's taking Meadow around to all the schools. Because in that episode, Tony cold-blooded murders a guy, strangles him to death, lies to his daughter, and the whole bit. They're like, you can't do that with your protagonist. That makes him the bad guy. He's like, he is the bad guy.
Yeah, that's why he was fun.
20s era gangster thing to come back.
Watch the Penguin. Watch the Penguin on HBO.
I was
the first episode.
Dismissing you before your sentence finished. Boardwalk Empire wasn't that good, but the Penguin, you say?
Penguin is amazing. It's a continuation of the Batman movie that has Robert Pattinson in it, which is my favorite Batman now. He is now my favorite Batman by far. He's more of a lightweight Batman. He's like a 155 pounder who's quick and agile with his combat. I like him a lot. They actually put the eye makeup on him, because in previous Batman movies, he's got black eye makeup on, but he takes the mask off and it's gone. Well, when Robert Pattinson takes his cowl off, he's got black makeup on. It looks good. He kind of looks like the Crow. He looks kind of haunted. But anyway, the Penguin is in that movie. He's a mid-level villain-ish guy. He's mostly a gangster, and the HBO series, The Penguin, picks up where that movie leaves off, that Batman movie leaves off. And there's really not a lot of superhero shit, almost zilch. There's references to it, but you don't see Batman. They don't mention Superman. They don't mention, there's one brief scene where you see on a news thing, they're like, yeah, Gotham is flooded because the Riddler blew up the harbor and the whole city got flooded. And then that's it. They never mention a superhero, a supervillain ever again. It's the Penguin being a criminal, like Tony Soprano style, being a ruthless criminal. By the time you get to the last episode, the way it ends is, whoa. Oh, I don't know if I could be on.
DC is low key taking Marvel's throne. I'm interested in the new Superman. There's some interesting things happening in the Batman world.
This Penguin show is very, very good. I haven't looked at the Rotten Tomatoes, but I know they're quite good. And it's got who's the guy who plays the Penguin?
Did you see the Superman trailer?
Colin Farrell plays the Penguin, and they've got so much makeup on him. It's $10,000 a day to do his makeup. They say.
Good. Wow.
It's incredibly. He's lost behind the makeup. You do not see Colin Farrell, and he does a great performance. I have not seen the trailer for the Superman movie. I watched the first trailer. I watched about 30 seconds of it, and I saw Crypto, the super dog or whatever, which is James Gunn's actual pet dog. Like Superman is injured. He falls out of the sky. He's in the snow, and then come barreling towards Superman Taylor, like blowing the snow out of like a rocket. Is his dog, and the dog comes up and he's like, "Harp!" He's like, "Take me home, boy." And the dog dragging Superman at like 500 miles per hour through the snow. Again,
how is the dog super?
It's a Crypto dog.
He's a super dog from Krypton.
Yeah.
Crypto.
Oh, okay.
The what is the really gory? The Boys. I'm reading online, the Reddit superhero or fight arguments. Apparently, Crypto could wipe out everybody in the Boys universe. He
could, yeah. Power scaling. I think power scaling is kind of stupid. It is fun. I get it as a fan of so many different properties. It's fun to see how would Goku stack up against Omni-Man. In some cases, it's really simple. And in some of those properties, you get hard numbers. It's like, okay, well, this time Goku bench pressed One Punch Man, I think, like sneezed once and blew the atmosphere off Jupiter. One Punch Man, like he bench pressed a bar that had a black hole on either side.
What?
Well, then he's got to be the strongest, right? Is there anything more impressive than that?
I didn't know that.
It's the power of push-ups.
I mean, the next strongest thing is the bar.
Find a picture of it, Zach. I think
that's true.
I think it's pretty sure it's One Punch Man, and he's benching two black holes.
What's pulling them down?
Exactly. In no way does it make sense. They're just each very heavy, but in relation to what, right? It's just silly. I always think of One Punch Man as the most powerful character that's not some sort of god type thing. There's tons of Marvel characters that unmake reality, or they have that's good shit.
Look at the bench.
Floor.
The bench is holding up.
That's when you go for Rogue over Titan. When you're doing
That's
that.
True. Yeah, if I were lifting planets, I'd have to go Rogue.
Did you get the colored bar, or did you just get black?
No, it's just I think it has a zinc finish or something. I didn't get the absolute lowest Ohio bar. I got like a mid-range one because there were other ones with like Cerakote or some sort of like colored finish.
That's what I got.
But I got the black zinc covered, and the bar itself rusts a tiny bit, but I just fucking wipe it off and I don't really care. The collars definitely get rusty. I have to wipe those off some. But it's not like damaging rust.
You might go with stainless. I remember it was like an extra $20, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And now it's just always good.
Yeah, the one right next to that, red. Ohio bar black zinc. That's what I got. Ooh, red. That's purdy. I like it.
It matches all my other shit is red and black. So just went. I thought for a while about getting some funky. Like they have a cool green color and a light blue. There's a whole color scale on the right. The orange one looks good. I almost got the green one though. It was between green and what I got, and I went with red. I just wanted to be a little different with the green. Just like, I don't know, I went with red. Everything's red and black. I guess that's the only color scheme that I like. As I look around me, I'm surrounded with red and black. Even my motorcycle. Like everything's red and black.
Your headset.
Yeah. I need to get some new cups on these. These are like, you can't tell, but they're coming undone.
Are they so old?
Yeah, I've had this headset for a long time. I may have bought this headset when we bought these mics. Like a decade ago.
Let me see.
You can get new cups on Amazon. They're like $15. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, I was gonna find them for you. I think you have the M50X.
Yep. I've looked at the cups. I just keep not doing it. I
have one piece of advice because I've replaced cups a few times. Buy the OEM ones. I have turned at least 3 times a $40 purchase into a $60 purchase by buying the $20 ones first, hating them, and then getting the $40 ones second. Like, don't.
My only concern, I think the reason I didn't pull the trigger is I got lost in there were so many options, and I didn't know if I wanted to go with like the pleather that these kind of are, or a soft like fabric, or then there was another one that was like cooling gel.
I hate that.
Cooling gel.
I bought them. Hate them.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered the X-Max 3.5 millimeter single side wired over ear mono headphone?
Oh yeah, those are $17 on Amazon if you want.
Ooh, you're being had. Mine are $7.99 on Amazon from a Chinese seller, and it's just a nice padded.
On Temu, they're 13 cents.
They probably are. This is built by a slave.
Now those I have a set of those, but nicer than yours. Jesus Christ, Taylor.
It's comfortable and it works.
I got them for when I was going to wear that
gaming.
ridiculous Halloween mask. I've still got that goddamn. That mask was like $400. I gotta find a use for that.
I don't know anyone else that prefers one ear. Do you game with one ear also, Taylor?
Yeah,
He wants to hear himself,
usually.
but I have playback in my ears anyway. Like I
don't
can't
like
talk without
playback.
hearing myself.
Right.
If I can't hear myself talking, it's a problem. And I will say, if I was going, I can't do accents nearly as well with these on. I know that sounds stupid, but I promise you, when I'm in like the kitchen, my Jamaican's on point, baby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, mom. And,
You will be throwing it back right in the kitchen.
Maybe you think you sound better when you can't hear yourself directly.
No, it's the opposite. I can hear my like when I can hear myself well, I can tune it in and like make it better.
Yeah.
But with these on and the way I can't. If I took
But you're
one of them off,
hearing
I could
yourself
actually-
differently because it's not all coming from outside. Like some of the voices, some of the vibrations are coming from inside
I've heard the
your head.
recording.
We all think we all think we have deeper voices than we really do. You know,
I know.
Then you know, but people who don't talk into mics all the time don't know that that your voice sounds deeper in your head than it does to everyone else. And if you're like, oh, I hate the sound of my recorded voice, you hate the sound of your actual voice. You like the sound of the deeper internal version of your voice. All the rest of us are hearing the one that you hate, and it's okay because we don't hate your voice.
It's
I
all
hate my
right.
voice.
That's what
I
we're used
hate
to.
it.
Yeah, I don't like having both ears covered. Even when I wore headsets like you guys have, I always kept one ear out because it is way easier to do voices if you can hear a more real representation of it. I've tried the playback, the feedback, and I hated it. I don't even think I did one show with it. I think I turned it on, heard myself do it for a few seconds, and was like, this is going to throw me off 100%.
Be adjusted well. Like your feedback, the feedback has to be turned down enough that it's a mixture of what's coming from here and what's being fed into there. And I don't know, there's a sweet spot. That's what I was tinkering with pre-show that turned my camera off. I was messing with my feedback to like dial it in right. But still, without a headset, I can control my voice better.
It's easier. And even when I'm like watching something with headphones on my laptop in my living room or something, I still only use one headphone. I have one of these I sprung for the $15, and I have one out there that I put on. I don't know why. I just prefer the one headphone in case what if there's a burglar and I'm caught flat-footed.
Do you really? All right, now I do get afraid of that with VR. When I'm in VR, I have to lock the door. Like I have to lock the door of the room I'm in, or I'll be a little sketched out. Like
that makes sense.
You get scared in there because you're turning all your senses off. I even like I must smell the bad guy coming. Not unless he's Indian. It's there's no way. So I lock the door when I go into VR with a headset on. I always lock the door, or I can't be. Every now and then I'll be like looking around, make sure there's not somebody in the room with a sword, like measuring up to like hit me just right with a sword while I fight fucking aliens, and spiders and shit.
And then they're gonna the police are gonna come to your house and you'll be dead, still wearing VR stuff, like holding controllers.
Yep,
and they'll be like, "Wow,"
with the tie around my neck from the autoerotic asphyxiation.
Well, we can tell he didn't die from getting too much pussy.
Nope, not a bit. Dude, I think the reason I'm phobic about that, my girlfriend did fuck with me one time, like a decade ago, back when I had the Vive and I was in the house with the blue room behind me. I was in there fucking vibing out one time, and when you're in VR, you're in VR. Like you'll punch walls accidentally if you don't have them tuned in, and you hit them hard. It's like the way you bite a fork way too hard. You're like, God, I didn't know I was biting that hard. Or bite your finger if you're fucking up. Yeah. That's how hard you punch a wall. You will never hit a wall. Your brain won't let you hit a wall as hard as you will hit a wall in VR. You don't hold back. You don't like nothing. You just hit a wall. And I took all the skin off my knuckles one time. It was gross. But my girlfriend came in and fucking grabbed me while I was in a game shooting a bow and arrow at fucking ghouls and goblins that were all in my face. And I screamed and I freaked out. And like, even I couldn't tell that I'm safe until I get this off of me, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like when you spook somebody and you turn around, you're like, oh, you got me. You're still getting me because I'm still in there. I got to get out of here. I didn't know who had me. It scared the fuck out of me. And so, yeah,
I would hate that. That
VR's
sounds
great,
awful.
VR
Are you going to be a first adopter of those custom kind of like little, I guess, placements or floors or whatever you'd call them that each have like there's little segments of them that roll over, not like balls, but like.
So you're talking about the trackpad that you can run on. There's a couple different. There's a couple different of those. There's a new tech that maybe it was Disney that like owned the patent too. For I don't know what they're going to use it for. It was something like that. That one has a really bizarre material that, like you said, does this thing where it's like an omni roller where no matter, and it gives you this feedback like you're running. It looked like that's a whole breakthrough in the flooring material. But there's a cheaper one that's a couple grand, and you essentially have a harness that you wear and then an arm that straps into that so that your hips and your legs are moving. You're pumping your arms and you're running, but you're held in place by that arm. On your vest, and then the floor is like an omni rolling material. You're standing in a dish slightly, so you kind of get the sensation that you're taking steps up and back and over. That one looks pretty good and it's affordable. I don't know what that Disney shit is like. I don't know. I'm not that into it. I don't play that often. Yeah, exactly that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of, but that still looks pretty neat.
So with a setup like this, you can play Skyrim. And and every step you take is your character takes a step, you know.
Oh,
so like
that's gonna be grueling.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do so much. Actually, that's maybe the best workout of all time. You die because you're not running away from the skeleton fast enough. You're like, just take me.
Imagine Taylor, like what it would feel like to sword and like shoot your fireball, and like if you match your swing to what the character does. I don't know. I think VR, I want to say VR is the future, but I don't know because this doesn't look like the sort of thing that a 15-year-old can afford, and it needs to be. And plus, you've got the Steam Deck is such a deal for what it does. Like I don't know. I don't know if VR is going to get there. That's $3,500 just for the thing you're running around on.
But is gaming really aimed at 15-year-olds nowadays? Like so many gamers are like 30s, 40s. Like they're people with disposable income that can hop in and be like, you know what? I do want to get in shape, but I'm not going to the gym. I'm not buying workout equipment. I'm taking my workout equipment budget and I'm putting it into letting me play Oblivion Remastered on my own two legs.
That's a fantastic workout. It really is. So you don't even need that thing there. I play in my yard. I go out in my backyard and play. So I have an infinite running space. I can run around and jump and dive and whatever I want to do.
You'd have so much poop on your feet in my yard.
Oh, my dog's only poop in like a certain part of the yard where they want to poop in privacy, so they go up into like these privacy bushes and they do it up in there. But my like flat part of my yard, I can run around and just have a blast out there. And even if you're playing Beat Saber or a boxing game, there's ducking and shuffling and running around. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you'd get in the pool and the next thing you knew you were starving because you just burnt 1,000 calories having fun. That's how VR is. Like I'll take that thing off and I'm just sweaty. I keep a sweat towel like on my shoulder that I can like reach it or in my waistband so I can grab it and like, oh, I'm like a black man in church.
How long are your sessions? Like, are you playing for like hours?
It depends. Like I've played till the battery's gone out before. I got an extended battery pack now, so I think I've got 6 hours. But usually just an hour at a time, or I'll get motion sickness, especially if I'm doing something like Batman, or I'm running around doing a whole story type thing. But mostly I like games like Beat Saber. I like archery games. I fucking love because it feels real. Even as you're drawing it back, it does a little vibration, and the sound is like. And when you like it feels real. And I've got pistols to put my controllers in, so I've got the feel of like a gun. They like Nerf blasters, not Nerf blasters, the like the old Nintendo Super Blaster gun. Remember that thing that you play duck hunt with?
Mhm.
They look exactly like that. So that's kind of nifty.
Have you ever played a 2-player game, or they're all single?
Oh yeah. There's an Escape from Tarkov clone that you can play. That's really in depth and difficult. And the gunplay and the PvP is ridiculous because you can do things in VR you can't do with a mouse and keyboard or a controller. They'll take cover very effectively, and they'll move around well, and they shoot better than me. It's an ass whooping when you play. What's it called? It's not Escape from Tarkov. It's Ghosts of Tasnarov or some shit. Doesn't matter. But anyway, there's PvP. Yeah. There's all sorts of games. Any type of game you can imagine. I see people playing Civ on there. I think
Civ.
Yeah,
that's an odd one. It feels.
I think they're there in the fucking maybe right above the map, like God, moving things around and making options and stuff. The way you operate the virtual desktop, you'll have you can have as many screens as you want. It's just like, I don't know, Star Trek or like a futuristic movie. You're surrounded by virtual magical screens. You're like, bring this YouTube over here. It's fun.
I'm a little bit of an F1 fan, and it seems like racing games would be really good in VR. You have a steering wheel that actually feels like a steering wheel. You've got the pedals, but then you look around and you get the experience of being in a car as opposed to looking at a monitor. It just seems like it'd be far more immersive. I haven't tried it yet, but it was one of the reasons we bought it and never used it.
I can see racing being fun in that environment.
I need to play on somebody else's system before I dip my toes in that racing thing. I've got pedals and a steering wheel, and the steering wheel has torque feedback and all that. But I don't have
your toes are dipped, man. You've got a great setup, it seems.
No, I've got the basic setup. It's like $300 or $400. But I look on Facebook Marketplace at people's setups they're selling, and they're like $7,000 to $15,000. Because you're in a cockpit, you're in a racing chair. The pedals all have realistic feedback. It's like driving a car. And at $15,000 for a racing sim, you can buy a pretty good race car for $15,000. Like a race car for $15,000.
Yeah, and then it's like, am I going to buy a way to pretend when I could do this for real?
Yeah,
that almost feels wrong.
I'm also kind of into the idea of it's the same exact way I feel about the flight sim games. It's like I want to do this all the way or not at all. Like I don't, I feel like these are games that really benefit from those high end systems and those cockpits and all that shit. I don't know. I don't want to. This seems like it'd be lame on a mouse and keyboard, and it would be almost as lame on a cheap setup.
Some people like flight sims. I was excited about it. And then you do it and you're like, oh, this is like as boring as flying is.
When I say flight sim, I guess what I really meant was like an air combat game.
Oh, that could be different. Yeah. But the ones where you just fly like an ICOM A5 or something and land in the water and it takes 2 hours to go anywhere, just like it does in real life. No, thank you.
I would like to be the best. I've tried to fly in Battlefield with mouse and keyboard, and it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. And the other thing is when you crash the fucking thing, and now your team doesn't have the thing until another one respawns, and meanwhile the enemy, he knows how to fly, so he's raining hell on you. But I feel like one of those flight sims would be good for that. Not a flight sim, the cockpit they'll set up and everything. Like play a game like Battlefield that's multiplayer like that with it.
I wonder if having actual helicopter flying experience would help you fly it well. If you walk in and be good.
You'd imagine so. I don't know. I know I've watched videos where they have Air Force pilots playing, I think it's Ace Combat or some shit like that. It's a combat. It's a really realistic combat simulator where they can fly F-18s against MiG-23s or whatever the fuck. Those are so boring to watch, those videos. Air combat's lame to watch, especially when it's not real. Drone Operator, that's the new game. That's the new game. They need to get that game out.
Get your cat ears.
I already got the cat ears.
No, my bad. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, I mean, would that be any more exciting than a regular air combat game? It would just be flying into Eastern European over and over and over.
I don't know. I watch a lot of drone kill videos, and it'd be kind of fun. They're switching to motorcycles a lot on the front lines because they said it's more important to be fast than to be armored. With a motorcycle, you can outrun a drone. But
really,
yeah.
I wouldn't have
Not
guessed
all the
that.
time, because I've seen drones catch bikes. I'm sure Kyle has too.
I saw a guy the other day, Woody. Oh my God. Zach, see if you can find the video. It's a Russian on a motorbike, and there's a huge anti-tank trench on the battlefield. And at either side, are mounds of earth because the earth has been pushed to either side. He tries to jump that motherfucker like Evil Knievel and doesn't make it.
Yes. I've seen that. He dies, right? Does
He
he die right
dies,
there?
yeah. Yeah, he died.
Taylor, you'd love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a hoot.
So I've seen every kind of death you can imagine. I saw one where the Russians are trying to scuba across a fucking river. I saw them coming. They're dropping bombs into the water. I've seen them where I've seen some gruesome ones. I've seen so many Russians blow their own brains out. I don't like to see it. I just need to know that it got done. So I'll kind of cover the face with my hand, and then I'll see the.
You're sitting there on your laptop being like,
on my phone or my computer. I don't even have a laptop anymore. I haven't had a laptop in a minute.
Really? You just, when you're on your couch, you just use your phone?
Yeah. My laptop is loaned out to someone right now.
Jeremy.
And you don't expect this person to.
I mean, I want to ask for it back. They're probably using it more than I would anyway, but it's the nicest laptop you can. How much does a good Apple laptop cost, Woody?
I don't know. They're not super dumb. $2,500.
A little more than that. Yeah.
Wow. You should get that back. It seems like a really good laptop.
I don't need it though.
Was it a gaming laptop?
So you could it's either got probably a 3090. It had the best GPU available 2 years ago.
It stinks that they make the naming the same.
It's stupid. I didn't know what I was buying when I bought it, frankly. When I spent $2,700, I was like, holy shit, I'll have a 3090 in this, and I'll have a 3090 in that. And then, oh, no. No, you just bought a $3,000 space heater.
Yeah, how are they? What is the
mobile?
Do they have a suffix on it where it's the laptop one is like a 3090p?
Yeah, the laptop cards are just different. They have the same naming protocol, more or less, though, and it's very deceptive.
That is
I'm just
deceptive.
with Kyle, yeah. Probably the full name has another letter in it, like it's the mobile version, but you don't see it. It's easy to think you're getting a desktop card.
And I thought I was tech savvy, but I wasn't. I wasn't. I bought that thing. What I have been thinking about doing a little tech project. I've got my old gaming PCs. I just keep them. So I've got a 1080 Ti gaming PC. I've got a 2080 Ti gaming PC. And I think I've got a 3080 Ti gaming PC sitting around. I think I want to take and completely disassemble and mount the whole thing flat on a board that's displayed on a wall. Have it work, but have everything mounted flat, GPU mounted flat. And I've seen it done. It looks pretty nifty. Just as a wall display that works. I've seen people mount them and they're non-working, but I want it to work. I want it to light up and the fans to turn and everything.
Did you change rooms recently?
Not recently, no.
Oh, okay.
No, same taupe room.
Ooh,
don't know where I got that then. Okay.
Dive.
I was thinking it'd be dope if it was in your backdrop, but your backdrop looks really close to you. It wouldn't be a good idea.
It depends which way I turn in the room. There's a one wall. In any case, I would mount it so you could see it if I did it.
Do you have your desk?
That's exactly what I want to do.
That's fancy. That's bright.
Well, you don't need the lighting is optional.
You can't do that, Kyle, because that guy has a laptop.
Fuck.
You're gonna have to call in a favor. Favor. Yeah. Do you have?
I like that. I don't know why that one appeals to me so much.
Liquid cooling with that one, which is that's pretty cool too. I guess that gets around the fact that we don't have, air cooling in our case.
Right. Yeah. Normally there's air pulled through the case, and it's.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any load on it. It would be more of a display purposes PC that I don't know could run a YouTube video, but I wouldn't play games on it because for exactly that reason, I feel like it overheat quickly.
I've seen them built into the desk in a neat way, like a glass top desk with the computer underneath it.
Yeah,
Why would the wall-mounted one overheat if it still had like the fans?
Because it doesn't have moving air over it. Normally, you have a fan at the front and the back of the case pushing and pulling air through the whole system, whereas this one could create like a little microclimate that doesn't have air pushing it in the same way that it would in a tunnel with moving air.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that sucks because after looking at the second example, I'm like, wow, genius. This has to be the best idea ever. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, the water cooling may get around that. He had that red reservoir off to the side. That's what's going on there. I only know one person in the world with a fucking water cooled PC, and it's scum. He's got like a $6,000 water cooled monstrosity.
Really? Mine's water cooled, but it's not like. I don't think it's as uncommon as you think it is anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
It's got like a reservoir of water that's pumping around and stuff, not just your CPU cooler.
It's just my CPU cooler. That's not what we're talking about. This is something more.
Talking about a water cooled. So CPU coolers are by nature a bit of water cooling with the radiator, but liquid cooled PCs are another thing. He has a tank of liquid in there.
How does the water get cool again?
It's pumped through a radiator, just like in a car.
So the radiator, you can imagine, it's got a bunch of little fins. Air blows through it, and by the time it hits the other side, it's been cooled off, and it goes for another lap.
Okay. Man, that seems. I don't know tech, but that seems like it adds a couple failure points into your expensive electronic device.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it can have, there's lots of depth. Look at that. See what I'm talking about? This is why you do it. It looks cool.
That does look cool. I don't know if I'd put water in it. Maybe I'd put like.
I've never done
Red Bull.
But the hardest part to me seems like it would be buying the right things. Do you know how many connectors I would get too many of? I would not have enough of as I tried to figure out how to route this stuff. What are those little band clips? How many do you need? I don't know. Probably more or less than I bought.
Yes, significantly so. Either significantly more or less than what I've already purchased.
This project would take me 3 months as one by one I figured out what I didn't plan for properly and added it to my shopping list.
This is one that you want, in my opinion. What I would do and what he did, I think, is get it pre-built with a warranty. That way, when something inevitably fucks up, it's covered. Zach, see if you can find one where they've submerged the PC in a mineral oil, because those are cool to me. You have the entire PC submerged in oil. And that does the cooling.
What?
It looks like the RAM sticks are shining. It looks like they're in front of that green tube, the center of the picture. But I guess they're shining through it.
Yeah, they have to be shining through.
I suppose they are, yes.
I looked at that.
Yeah, look at this.
So this is just oil?
Yeah. I think it's mineral oil.
And it doesn't fuck with any of the...
This is Diddy's PC.
He was always hosting LAN parties. That's why he had so many of those. White mineral oil. So is this just basically like to show you can do this? There's no way this is the most efficient way to.
I think it's quite efficient. It's again that mineral oil is conducting the heat away from everything. It's touching it. I would imagine this is more efficient than air cooled. As far as like, I would imagine you'd have a more high performance machine with this, and the mineral oil is, I suppose, non-conductive, so you could just do this.
I wonder if it heats up and stops being as good. Like
he's got a radiator on top.
It's amazing, right? And then the next
he's circulating
hour,
the mineral oil.
I can see that there's a cooling to it, but I don't know. Either the temperature's trending up or down. It's one of those. And if it trends up, then does it get warm? Does it start to be lukewarm or even warm?
I don't know. Not my area of expertise. I just like those alternate ways of doing it. But for practicality, you just send $3,500 to iBuyPower, and they'll hook you right the fuck up, and that thing will work until you're done.
Yeah. I had no idea you could submerge all those electronics in oil and it wouldn't fuck with it.
Have you seen where they do the liquid nitrogen cooled ones?
No.
So they do competition overclocking, where they, I don't know exactly what they're going for, but they'll pour liquid nitrogen in there while it's running to cool it.
To super cool it. Yeah. to make it run faster, you have to give it more volts, and that creates more heat. So they use liquid nitrogen, and it just boils right there on the CPU as they're trying to hit higher clock speed than anyone else ever has. This is the stuff that's built into the desk, and I'm not saying it's the smartest way to do it. It just tickles my fancy.
Look at that. Go back to 2 pictures, maybe 3. Yeah. One more back the other way. This is where things get complicated. Oh no, that looks hard. That's not for me, man. I don't know what I'm doing well enough. I've put PCs together, but not like that.
Yeah, my cable management isn't that good. Part of it is I don't have a mental image of all the cable management tools and options that exist. And
True.
I think someone like this does. Like, oh, I'm going to need this kind of clip. I'm going to need that to make it happen.
So this one is for liquid nitrogen?
No.
That's just in the desk fan.
Kyle was talking about the wall-mounted one, and it inspired me to bring up the desk embedded one, which I think is neat.
I think one of you should do the liquid nitrogen.
I think you should do it.
Nah. Nah.
That's just to they do that kind of like it's more like a drag race than a daily driver. You know, your gaming PC is a daily driver. What they're doing when they're pouring liquid nitrogen, they're doing a drag race against another team of guys, and the PC isn't even built. It's in this special stand that's meant for those competitions. It's this whole other thing. Still nifty though. Where do you buy liquid nitrogen? I want to fuck with that shit so bad, dude.
Probably the same place you buy like that
horse
tungsten
semen?
cube.
I got a horse semen guy.
You got a horse semen guy? Well, then maybe he knows like a chemist. And then you can buy.
Well, no, they store the horse semen in the liquid nitrogen.
Oh.
Like Jurassic Park.
Yes. Just like in Jurassic Park, he stores it for a while in a Barbasol can.
Yeah, it looks like a Barbasol can. Clearly, there's some liquid nitrogen in there. It even works, and he like sprays it.
So you can buy it on Google, it seems, but a better option is to go to your local like welding supply store, and they sell it there. Like the places that sell, what is it, argon? What do you MIG weld with? You know, the
argon?
Air gas, places like that seem to. I Googled it.
Yeah.
Oh, the air gas store for all your air liquid needs. What's a substitute for liquid nitrogen?
I don't think I ever took those tanks back.
My eyes. just kept them.
I own a set of tanks and I rent a set of tanks for oxyacetylene.
I think they make
the ones
you.
I own refilled.
I think when you rent them, they make you put a deposit down that's like significant enough to buy them, right? And then you just swap them.
It's been a minute, you know. They're in my shop. They're over there in my shop. Actually, I think my dad has them. He went over there the other day and got them. He got my air compressor too. Bastard.
He's not going to return it. He's just going to keep it.
He's put it to use anyways. He's fucking around. He built himself a nice new shop. He's been tinkering around in there working on his cars.
I have an air compressor. I've never used it.
What? How do you fill your tires?
I've never needed. Anytime I've ever noticed I needed air in my tires, it's when I'm already like out of the house and I just stop at a gas station that has free air and I just pop, fill it up.
What are you from the 80s? Where do you buy free air?
Well, it's been a long time since I've had to do it, but Quick Trip used to have free air.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they don't anymore.
I'm sure. I don't know why I'm being so harsh about it, but I don't see free air in my experience.
Most of the places have like a quarter slot now. And so that's probably.
And it's like 8 quarters and it's a race to fill 4 tires.
It's a race. I can't get all 4 on $1 or whatever it is. You gotta move around.
Yeah,
my tires always leak. They always have. Like slowly, really slowly, but they always have.
During winter, I'll notice if it gets real cold, the light will come on for that. And I'm always like, no, I'm not putting more air in there. If it gets icy, having a little less air makes it easier. And then every spring it heats back up. And if it was there, it goes away. Not even every spring, just when it heats back up the next day.
You get a little digital readout in your car, shows you what's going on.
Nope. I have a thing in my middle console that has like a.
I know.
Put that in there and it goes whoop. It sticks out how high it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a digital gauge. I just get them all to 100%. 100.
I'm an overachiever. I like to get to like 120, 130.
Mine tells me in PSI. and I can never get them all to match. You know, I'll pick a number, I'll target it, and there's always one that's off by 1 or 2.
Damn. What's the actual good amount you should have them filled to?
I don't know, 28.
Yeah, I was going to say 32, but I like bigger numbers. I go to
PSI,
like 40 or something, 45, because then I
contact
don't have to fill
with
it
the
as
road.
soon.
Hey, you make better contact with the road, Taylor. You see, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. All right.
100%. There's even one thing I've always known about you. It's that you yeah,
That's right.
you get really into it. You call us all a family sometimes, just like the old Fast and Furious.
Anytime I take down a truck full of DVDs, I hook you guys up. That's what
Appreciate that.
I always like to remind people. Fast and the Furious 1.
Fucking Norbit again.
I'm not going to watch Terminator.
I'm gonna have to purchase it and mail it to him. I have a copy that's in the wrapper over there too. That's the funny part. I should just send that one to you.
I just need to watch it.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Something about the start of Fast and Furious.
Oh, in Fast and the Furious 1, Paul Walker is trying to take Vin Diesel down because Vin Diesel and his boys are stealing DVD players from trucks. That's the caper. That's the big deal that the whole movie is made about. Fast and the Furious 10, they're jumping off mountains, like saving the world like James Bond. It's James Bond. It turned into like James Bond level save the world type shit.
Has to get more extreme. And I mean, when was Fast and Furious 1 out? Because there was a time DVD players were really expensive. So what was it, like 99 or 2001?
I would guess late 90s when Fast and the Furious. I remember it. I must say 97 to 99, somewhere in there. 2001 release date. Yeah, they were expensive though.
At the beginning, Ludacris, who's a rapper who stars in the movie, I think he owned a nightclub or something, maybe even worked at it as a bartender. He's just like a dude involved in Fast and Furious. And he leaves for an episode and he comes back and suddenly he's their tech genius. He's hacking into satellites and like making drones. Yeah. And they're like, how do you know this? And he's like, I had a life before I met you. And that's all the explanation they ever give.
Yeah.
That's just it.
That's such great writing. I had a life before this, you know. Wow.
I can't watch those things. I don't remember the last one I watched. I don't like movies like that anymore. I need something. I need something a little more meat on the bones than The Rock yelling at Vin Diesel and Vin Diesel standing up while Vin Diesel stands on a milk crate. You know they do that, right?
The Rock's a big dude.
They put Vin Diesel on like a milk crate when he stands in front of The Rock for those movies. They're like the same height.
I think Vin Diesel fought Jason Statham, and they both had it in their contract that they couldn't lose a fight. So Jason Statham, who is the bad guy, like something happened, like Vin Diesel stomps his foot or something, and the parking garage breaks, and Jason Statham falls down through the broken floor. And I'm like, you can't break parking garage.
Technically, I didn't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have those stupid clauses, and then you put all of them in the same movie, and nobody can get beaten up. It's retarded. It's silly. I get having like if Stallone or Schwarzenegger doesn't get slapped around. I get if you get some ego.
He's like, that's how street fight ends. The street always wins, and the street breaks and beats Jason Statham.
Having a clause as an actor, being like, I won't pretend this much, is hilarious. Like, no, I can't be defeated.
You know, he doesn't want to lose on camera.
I don't like it. Like
Clint Eastwood didn't have that bullshit in him. You watch Unforgiven. My dad always says this about Unforgiven. He's like, God, you feel so bad for old Clint. Everybody's slapping him around and beating him down to the ground. It's rough. and it is. It's hard to watch Clint take ass whooping after ass whooping in that movie.
Which one?
The Unforgiven.
Oh.
The greatest Western ever made.
Who's the very, very good actor, Kyle? He's dead now. He had blonde hair. He was chubby. He was in Mission Impossible.
Phillip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes. I knew you'd be able to get
that. That guy rocks.
That guy would never have a can't lose clause in his thing.
Well, he's not an action star.
Yeah.
But he's a great actor.
Have you seen the movie with him, The Master, where he plays the
with
cult
Joaquin
leader?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Great movie. Watched it when it came out.
Every single thing Phillip Seymour Hoffman is in is awesome.
He kills
because
every
he's in it.
role. Yeah.
Maybe not
And-
everything he's in is awesome. I mean, he's awesome in everything. He's good even in shitty nonsense.
in Mission Impossible, which has its charm, but you wouldn't think it was a place to show off acting chops until he shows off his acting chops.
I'm gonna kill her in front of you, and she's gonna beg, and she's gonna plead, and I'm not gonna care. And it's gonna be, and you're just like, fuck. I thought that Tom Cruise had the upper hand here, but clearly he does not.
This guy's really nasty.
He is, and he does it. Tom Cruise has him caught, and he's like, you're gonna tell us what we want to know, and that's my Tom Cruise voice, and he's like, I'm gonna tell you fuck all. I'm going to hurt you, and I'm going to find the people you love, and I'm going to hurt them because of you, and I'm going to make you watch, and they're going to beg, and it's Tom Cruise like, fuck, like maybe we should let this guy go. And at the end, toward the end of the movie, exactly that happens. He has Tom Cruise's doctor fiance stolen from America and brought to like Europe, to evil land, and he's like, I'm going to fucking blow her brains out in front of you. He's like, please, Tom Cruise is crying, please don't do Please don't do this. You better tell me the fucking code, Tom Cruise. Please don't do this. Bang! It's like, he don't play no shit. It's great.
No,
Did he kill her?
I don't want to spoil the movie.
Don't spoil it. But I mean, just to see him be like, this guy has an immense amount of swagger tied to a chair. Like this, he just really plays for
He's intimidating when he wants to be.
I'm sorry. I didn't appreciate him until he was gone.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's been dead for like over 10 years now, right? Like it's been a long time.
He was just also ran actor in my mind, and then he died, and I'm like, whoa, I forgot what he did in this and that, and there's no more. That sucks.
I think he got taken by the OD that takes many.
There's tons of them you probably haven't seen before. Cold Mountain is a good one. He's in that one for a little bit. It's real good, from 2004. Nicole Kidman and a bunch of other people.
Fentanyl get him?
I thought it was
that heroin, right?
He died in 2014, so probably not fentanyl. I would guess heroin or prescription pills, or
it wasn't meth.
Something like that. It wasn't meth. He was too heavy.
He's a chunky feller.
He was only 46. I thought he was older than that.
He's in Punch Drunk Love. He's the villain in that. It's pretty good.
That's the Adam Sandler one, right?
Yeah, I love that one. I swear to God, it's a great movie, and you'll never think of Adam Sandler the same.
Dude, Adam Sandler 10 years ago was this like dope who made bad Netflix movies. And now to me, he's completely rehabilitated. And those movies are better than I thought they were. And it's like, you know what? Thumbs up to Adam Sandler. That guy's done nothing
doing that for
wrong.
years. He's been doing that for years. Like he makes 5 screwball goofy comedies. Where, by the way, he's hooking all of his boys up from the old days with $1 million paychecks. Clearly for their benefit. Mm-hmm. And then he turns around and does Uncut Gems, or that space movie where he's depressed with the spider. Or I swear, Punch Drunk Love is tremendous. I watched Punch Drunk Love with my girlfriend a few months back. It's sweet and heartfelt. And he has autism or something. He's very awkward. He's very odd. He's poorly adjusted, but he falls in love. And then they hurt the woman he loves, and he turns into the water boy for a minute. And he's just whooping everybody's ass. He's violent. It's good. It's a really good movie.
I like Adam Sandler. I've seen him play basketball. He's better than you'd guess. He's more of a distributor. He's not, a playmaker, but he's playing. He loves the game. He's always loved the game. He works within his own limitations, and I'm here for it.
Have you seen Uncut Gems?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
So in Uncut, I haven't seen it myself. But in Uncut Gems, which is considered very, very good, it's rated highly. He is like a gym dealer, kind of a weird job for a Jew, but I could believe it, I guess. He's a good actor. And he's tied in with like NBA stars. I think Kevin Garnett's in the movie. And he's gambling way over his head, I think, on basketball. And so he's trying to get like inside stuff from Kevin Garnett, and that's part of the movie. But he also owes a lot of people a lot of money. It seems like a drama with some NBA like sideball shit that's fun too, because it's got NBA stars in it playing themselves like as NBA stars. I've never seen it, but it's very good. It's another one of his I'm a good actor watch kind of movies.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that whole movie was pretty good. I thought it was a little they kept it too high intensity for too long at times, where it's like you need to have a little more staccato rise and fall of the intensity, because it would rise and then stay there so long that it's like now it just doesn't feel as stressful because it's been at this level for so long.
I just remembered why I didn't finish that movie. I watched the first 10 minutes and it was very stressful, like you said. And it was that night, I was just talking to Taylor on the phone a couple of days ago. It was that night when I coughed and I burst a blood vessel in my eye. And that ruined the rest of the evening. Didn't finish the movie. I should go back to it.
Yeah. Just don't cough this time. You'll get through it.
Yeah.
I think you'd like the movie. Yeah, if you sat down and
I'm
watched
sure
it.
I will. Yeah.
You guys ready to wrap?
Yes, sir.
I suppose so.
All right. PKA 753.